If you ain't talking money, then I don't want to talk.
Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Treat them like jack boys, catch them slipping and slang them. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight on the We-On-Loc Nation channel, we want to go ahead. What is good with you anti-social? I'm gonna play a couple of games tonight, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to put it on Twitch. I'm gonna try to put it on Twitch tonight. This will be my first time doing it because I wouldn't know how to put it anywhere else. But I'm gonna be playing a couple of games because I do like the new update and everything. So I will be playing. I'm gonna be playing a couple of games on there. Hopefully, I won't be knocking into y'all. But if I do, I got to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Which means I got to take y'all asses back to the lobby. But it is what it is. Salute to y'all. I like playing with anti-socials. Yeah, they're great, especially when she flipping over calls and shit. But today I want to do a little something different. This one I'm struggling with because I've never been in this situation, but I know that a lot of people are complaining. A lot of men are complaining, and this is the reason why I asked the question. I asked the question: is the child support system fair to men, or is it fair to women? I hear both sides. I hear both sides arguing, and I hear most men speaking up, but I also hear women saying, it's good. It's good for it's good for us as women because of X, Y, and Z. The man is not there. Blah 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 blah. He ain't taking care of his child. He's got to take care of his child. He's got to take care of his child. He's got to take care of his child. He ain't taking care of his child. Blah 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 blah. He ain't taking care of his child. He's got to take 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 care of his chi complaining that he's complaining that you won't let him see his kid, but the truth of the matter is you can go down and ask for visitations and stuff like that. And then men complain that men want custody of their children. It's all a big mess. So I'm gonna need some help with this, y'all. So I'm gonna need some help with this. And I ran on a clip, right? Dr. Umar's always doing something. He's always doing something. He's always doing something, right? And when you come in, I want you to, when you come in, coming out, hit that like button. Hit the like, hit the heart emoji, hit the like, share, subscribe to the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Please become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. You are listening from work? Okay, cool. I'll try not to cuss. I will try not to cuss as much. I will try not to cuss, but I'm gonna definitely need some help with this one. If anyone you know is on child support, or is anybody, if anybody that you know is, oh, thanks, sweetheart, thank you. Anybody who's on child support, anybody who you know is fed up with all these laws, catering to women and stuff like that, please don't hesitate to come up on the panel or give me a shout out on the chat, because I've never been in that situation. I have 2 kids and I'm still married to my first wife. So she said, "Good, do you, brother?" I'll try to be more respectable. See, this New Year's resolution, I'm trying my best not to cuss people out. But I'm a lover, not a fighter. I want to make love, not war. I was always made like this. That's always been my makeup. Make love and not war. But some niggas really want to test me, so I have to put the smack it down on their candy asses. Anyway, so I ran into Dr. Umar virtually, and there's a couple things that he had put down, or gave his opinion upon, when, as it pertains to child support and how it should be structured. And I mean, it's a lot. It's a hell of a lot. I mean, it all depends on what state you're in. It all depends on how the law is being, how the law is being set up. Anywhere in your city and state, LA is different from Nevada. Nevada is different from Washington. Washington is different from New York. Dallas, Texas is the biggest one I've heard for being the most prejudiced when it comes to men. All right, I believe Black Man Unfiltered had expressed that in his earlier years. So let me get into the quick things. Let me see if things up. Like I said, if you're just coming in, hey, how are you doing, gorgeous? How are you doing, gorgeous? So let me go ahead and set this up for you. And here we go. And this is a little bit different, by the way. No. That's not what it. Bear with me. Place. Okay. Bear with me. There we go.
Very good racial themes as well. Go see 1992 if you can't see it at the theater. Make sure you stream it on one of the platforms. But they're a must-see movie, and I think Tyrese should be nominated for an Oscar, a BET award for his role in that movie, without question. But I believe he could not fulfill his obligation to court because of a pre-existing obligation that centered around the release of that movie, and so he subsequently was arrested. So this child support thing, and we talked about this last time, but this child support thing is out of control, brother. You can let a woman destroy a man's life financially because the relationship is over. I mean, I think black men, and we, had this dialogue. Black men need to organize and force a change in legislation regarding child support. First of all, if I can't see out, you don't get my money. If I can't see my child, you don't get my money. That should be law. Because too many women are denying us the right to see our children and yet still benefiting from child support. That should be illegal, number one.
Not cool at all, man.
Yes, and women should be forced to account for the child support too. Because I know a lot of fathers who pay child support and they still have to take care of their children after they pay child support because the mother of the child is using child support on herself and not necessarily the children. So yes, child support should go on a card. It should go on a card. And you have to use that credit card for all purchases of child. So that way, if the father wants to, I should be able to log into my child support folder, my child support online profile, and I should be able to see what you're buying with my money. What is wrong with a black father logging into the child support database, going to my profile, and saying that she bought my daughter some shoes, she paid for swimming lessons, class pictures, they went to the movies and dinner? I should see how my money is being spent. And not all black women are guilty of misappropriating the child support. I don't want to say that they're doing that, but I do know a sizable proportion of black women are guilty of misappropriating the child support. That's not fair. And it needs to be a special law for celebrities. There should be a ceiling on child support for celebrities. If your income bracket is at a certain level, and I can't predetermine what that is because I would even think about that deeper, and I'm not a millionaire, okay? But there should be a predetermined income bracket that if you are at income bracket or higher, you cannot be forced to pay more than this percentage of your earnings. The way in which these celebrity baby moms, don't get me wrong, I have no mercy for black men who bunny hop. If you bunny hop and got stuck with a child support situation, I have no mercy on you because you should have never been outside of the community. I want to be very clear about that. But for the brothers who are dating with the community, these women should not be able to get $25,000 a month if you can't afford it. $50,000 a month if you can't afford it. What can you possibly do for a child that's only 5 years old, Art, with $25,000 a month? Nothing at all I can think of. It's ridiculous. There needs to be a ceiling on the child support. I and my beautiful African sisters, y'all know I love y'all, but there needs to be a ceiling on child support because it's being weaponized to destroy the economic security of black men, and I cannot support that.
Yeah, I know Tyrese, he claimed that his mom trying to raise his, child support from 21 child, though.
That's ridiculous, man. They are literally using women to destroy black men financially. Literally are. And these sex assault cases, Sean Combs, R. Kelly.
Okay, he's about to go into something else. All right. Well, after seeing that, there were some people that feel that, well, that's not the case because they can go to family court and they can summon a petition or some shit like that. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know. This is my opinion on it, and you can take it however you want. Child support should be between the two candidates. It shouldn't be between you, her. It should be between me, her, and freaking frat, meaning the judge. Here's why. Too much turmoil, too much controversy, too much splitting, and it only hurts the children, right? It only hurts the children. Believe me, I was in that situation myself. I was in the middle. I was the only child, and I feel like I was being pulled by both sides, right? You know, I lived with my grandmother at the time, but then I had to go to court with both parents, and both of my parents were speaking, right? I feel like no child should be in that situation, but apparently, sir, I'm not blaming all parents, but parents just need to look at the situation for what it is, and to say, look, we're not going to let this system ruin us as a people. So why don't we just be good co-parents? And although I'm not gonna leave far, but hopefully I can find something to cross the street or a couple of miles down the road. If not, I will let you know. I don't want to stray far from my child, because we don't take in consideration that our children don't need to be separate from mother and father, but it usually happens that way for obvious reasons. Abuse, you can't get along, verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, stuff like that. He cheated on you, she cheated on me, blah blah. I mean, it's all abnormal, right? But you got to do. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. What's up, nigga? I don't know who you call it nigga, but it's all good. But that's just how I feel about it. I just feel that child support is between the two fractions, the mother and the father. Sign a piece of paper stating how much you are willing to pay, how much you between clothes, food, how much food you're gonna need. Whoever's staying at that residence. Let's just say it was the father staying at that residence, right? Let's just say me and Sheila, and Sheila decided to move away. Well, Sheila, I said, well, let me give you some money. Let me give you, say, like $300 a month. Let me give you three. Let me give you $400 a month, depending upon, because things are quite high. I give you $400 a month. You can do whatever you want with the money, because you can't stop them. You can only hope they wisen up and say and do the right thing by the child. That's what I say. So that's my take on it. But I got other people's take on this, and let's see what they say. And now I want to be fair. I definitely want to be fair on this.
I haven't heard her not once complain about paying child support. That's the excuse that's being made to shift the blame on the women. And I'm not,
I
Barry, you complaining about her?
Stone Combs, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Michael
Did
Jackson.
you?
If you notice, every single sex assault case charge
Oh, here we
of a
go.
major black celebrity.
Okay, yeah, he went into something else. Then we go on there. Yeah, Brother Umar. I don't agree with some of what he said about this child support situation. First of all, if courts don't have time to monitor visitation and stuff like that, they just don't have time to monitor it. It is a man's responsibility to go to court and to make sure that he is getting the proper visitation for his child. There is a such thing as called family court. Okay, the man needs to press the issue. It is the man's responsibility to press the issue to make sure that that mother is allowing him ample parent time. And I do not believe that most black women are doing this, because all the women that I know, including myself, wanted the fathers to be involved in a child's life, and they didn't want to. That's the excuse that's being made to shift the blame on the women. And I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, because most black women that I talk to that are single mothers, they want the fathers involved. They complain when the fathers are not involved enough, including myself. My father has to be involved.
Well, I'll have to agree to disagree there, sis, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of men who complain that women don't want the child in their life, don't even want visitation from the father. I get this a lot, and maybe I don't know, maybe it's online, maybe it's maybe it's online, I'm hearing this a lot online, I'm hearing this a lot on the streets, so I don't know, maybe it's something that I'm missing, but thank God I don't have that problem.
Who don't do it by themselves? The only time if the mother doesn't want the father to be there is if the father is toxic. If he's toxic and he's abusive, then that's understandable. He shouldn't be around her nor that child.
Okay, if I'll say this, and I might be wrong on this one. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I can take a hit. I can take a hit. I can take a punch. Just tell me if I'm wrong or not. Here we go. If the father is being toxic, I think the mother should be helpful to the father, because by doing this, seeking help for that man, getting him some professional help, because he's not going to do it himself unless he is willing to dig down in his will to want to get some help. That's going to be hard. I just say have either you or somebody that should be helpful enough to want him to continue to see his kids by giving him some help, giving him some professional help. We cannot leave these kids fatherless. That's my point. We cannot leave these kids fatherless, because due to the fact that we have so much turmoil in America, and they want to completely annihilate us in each and every single fraction. You have to get help You have to get some type of support for that man. Now, unless he's being abusive to you, unless he's being abusive to that child, unless he's smacking you up and down, being like just medieval. Yes, cool. He needs to get gone. But there needs to be some replacement. It doesn't have to be right away, but it doesn't have, but he needs to have some replacement, because I don't. Jesus Christ. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm gonna try it like this. No child needs to be alone with their mother. No single. There's too much single mother. There's too much single motherism going on. There's a lot that goes on in America. I swear to Almighty God, I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't know that all of what's going on here in America. I can name a list of shit that goes on in America that when you are alone with that child, even the father, but the father is one fraction. You know what I'm saying? He literally he's masculine, right? He's a masculine man. He's supposed to be a masculine man. If that man can't protect himself, how the hell is he going to protect his son, right? I'm not worried about the father. I'm worried about the mother. Now, unless the mother going to carry some GD with him, some goddamn it, and going to carry some mace, going to carry something. It's more of I'm not saying that a woman can't protect herself. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it'd be better if the father were around. You don't have to be married and all. You just have to guarantee that the father is going to be around. The father ain't going to be around 24/7. But if in an event that he or she, whoever the child is, if he or she don't have to go nowhere, he just need protection, y'all. They just need protecting. I'm talking about the children. Because who's the first person? Who's the first person they're going to call? Who's the first person that the child is going to call? The child is going to call the father. Cell phone. Child's always going to call the father. Every child has a fucking cell phone now. Excuse my baby language. Every freaking child has a goddamn cell phone. And what do? They call daddy. I know that because my daughter calls me. My son calls me. Says, daddy, 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 daddy. And you got to be strong for your children. Hell, my wife even calls me. It's like, hubby, it's like, you gotta come on quick. You gotta come on quick. I'm like, what the hell's going on? She said, I don't know, did you just come home? And I come home and it'll be the smallest thing. That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. They can afford it. they can't afford it. If you say so. But let me continue with this.
If he's toxic and abusive, and some of these black men are toxic and abusive, so they shouldn't be around the child or the mother. But in most cases, I would say a very small percentage of black women that maybe try to keep the man from seeing the child. But in most cases, mothers want the fathers to be involved. Because they ain't trying to do that by themselves. They need help. Come on now. And I just think that I'm sick of this narrative being pushed that black women are keeping black men from their children. That's not true. I think in most cases that's not true. So let's stop putting that out Stop blaming black women for everything. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. Um,
I'm just saying. I hear a lot of these red pill motherfuckers. They should give the child back to the father. They should give the child back to the father. They should give the child back to the father. Like, how dare you open up your legs to that man? I don't get it. First of all, okay, you want a woman to submit to a man, but yet you open up her legs, get her pregnant. Jesus Christ. Help me out, somebody. Help me out. Okay. You get a woman pregnant. You are in a club, you find these women or whatever, and then you get them pregnant. They open up their legs to you. Pop goes the weasel. And then all of a sudden you want him to they whores on the street. You want to put them back on the shelf, but all of a sudden they're hoes and this, and they need to submit to a man. And when they do submit to a man, right? They do submit to a man, and she gets hurt. Mentally, physically, whatever. As narcissists, there are some male narcissists out there. Some not all. Some not all. These narcissists and shit. I just don't get it. I just don't get where we come from. I don't get it. Again, it's not all. It's not all that's doing it. It's not all that's doing it. We need to be better. We need to do better. I think we need to get back to ass whoopings. You see, overseas in Iraq, you F around and get a woman pregnant and you don't handle that business, they literally humiliate you in front of the crowd. I seen a man get his ass tore up by other men by taking wood bricks and just I mean, literally whooping his ass, taking him, holding his arms, holding his legs, and literally just whooping his ass. Literally whooping his ass. Mom, what up? Bam! I haven't seen you in a while, homie. What's up? Shouts out to Vaughn. He is the #1 YouTuber in America. Say hello to Vaughn for me. But anyway, yeah, and overseas they literally kill you out there for cheating on your wife, not taking care of your children. What do you think they do to women over there? Hello? What do you think they do to women over there? That's a third world country over there. That's a third world country. They treat women worse than they treat men over there. When you do something stupid like that, that's capital punishment, because they believe in capital punishment over there.
but it's the man's responsibility to make sure that he gets ample visitation time with his child. Of course, don't have time to monitor that. You know, that's your responsibility as a father. If you care about your children and you love your children, and you would bend over backwards and make that sacrifice to make sure that you are seeing your children. Okay? So there's really no excuse. Stop making excuses. Stop putting everything on a woman and stop making excuses. Because if these men really want to see their kids, they can see them. A lot of them don't really want to. Okay?
James, I hear what you're saying, my man. I hear you, dog. Let me read that. Let me read that to get further clarification. Okay, if the child or children aren't yours, you have no responsibility. I'm making this face for a reason. Let her go find Pook. What's up with the Pookies and Ray Rays and shit? You know, they work too, you know. After work, they go home, smoke their blunt, and they good for the night. All they want, they just want money and to play video games because they live in all by themselves. Hey, the Pookie and Ray Rays know how to get the best weed. Right? So let's not discriminate. All right, let her find Pookie Rares or whatever. So we're going to leave. Let's just say for the sake of argument, James, that the so-called man that she has, she's with, right? The so-called man that she is with. Let's just say, hypothetically, they don't get along, right? They don't get along for some strange reason, and he splits, right? She calls, okay, it's time to pick up the kids, time to pick up the kids, so she can take them to school, blah, 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 blah. They have it all thing work out. He does not show up, okay? He does not show up to pick up his kid, take him to school. She has to clock out of work to go and take him or her to school, all right? And then, okay, that's water under the bridge. Second day, same thing happens. You ever heard of this? As a matter of fact, have you ever heard of this thing? Like, yo, I gotta go to the store real quick. I'll be right back. Papa was a rolling stone, which means he left to go to the store and never came back. What do you say to that? Is it her fault? Is it her fault for picking that man, or is it just a bad experience? Just saying. I'm just asking questions here. I'm just asking questions. I'm not on anybody's side when it comes to this particular subject because I'm not in that program. I'm not in that program. And I'm still married. So thank God. 15 years, just turned 15 years a couple of months ago. Right? 15 years, still got my kids. Still, we good. My oldest child turned 13. My youngest child is 10. We good. So I just want to know. I'm just asking questions. Just asking questions.
Second of all, okay, why are you just saying black man? I don't see you crying about Halle Berry having to drop her baby daddy or husband, all them child support. Women have to pay child support. What about Kelly Clarkson?
Wait, are we mentioning white people now? Not Halle Berry. I know everybody knows Halle Berry, but didn't Halle Berry marry a white man? And that same white man divorced her. We gonna talk about white people for real?
Halle Berry, they gotta pay child support. I don't see you sit here and say now one thing about the rich famous black women that have to pay child support. They have to drop the child support.
The reason why that is, Miss, is due to the fact that I can't believe I'm pulling up. I don't even do stats. I do eye tests, but I'm just going to say this for clarification. 70% of women organize, or not organized, but they want divorce. They advocate for divorce. They advocate for child support. I don't know. That's just what it is. And depending upon the situation, whatever it is, more men have to literally fight, scratch, claw, lose money, lose alimony, just so that a judge can make a decision based on your income alone, right? Everything is based on your income. Based on your income alone, where you live, and what the statutory is, what the law, what the base law for that particular state is. Whatever it is, I know in the state of Nevada where I live, I believe that whoever makes the most is basically going to be on child support. Whoever makes the most out of the relationship is going to be on child support. Have to look that up. But the reason why we talk about why the men are being concentrated and being talked about so much, because it is that. Because a lot of men are being targeted for child support. Tyrese, his ex-woman just raised the ante from $25,000 a month to $40,000 a month. So why the fuck do you need that increase for? And you wonder why he's having a mental breakdown. I mean, the brother is having a mental breakdown. We are like, why are you attacking the women? I'm not attacking the women. I'm not attacking the women at all. I just don't like the system that we're in. But based on the system, based on where you live, you gotta fight it. This is the reason why we vote. This is the reason why we vote. This is the reason why men fight for the custody of their children. Right? Now, if men don't care, they'll just say, look, just tell me what you need and I'll give it to you straight up. I just want to get out of this marriage. I just want to get out of this life. Just tell me what you want and I'll give it to you. Some men will actually do that, but other men, hell no, I deserve to take care of that child. This is mine, but it goes from our child to my child. And that's selfish. In some cases, it goes from our child to my child. And that's a bunch of bullshit. But let me tell
you. You're fixated on the man. You not care about women that have to pay child support? You only care about men that have to pay it? And another thing, everybody always cry about Tyrese, but what about Halle Berry? You don't see her crying about paying. I haven't heard her not once complain about paying child support. Child support is based on your income. It is based on the man's income. Okay, now if his income goes down, he can go to the court and modify it. Show proof to the court and have it modified. But child support is based on the man's income. That's what they based on. Based on the man's income. You high on a hog, you're a rich celebrity man, no, the law should not be modified and it should not be a ceiling. Because the reason why I say that is because if you're living in a nice, beautiful mansion and you know, you got all comfortable life, okay, your child should be living the same way. I made this point in other videos. Your child should have the same standard of living that you have. Okay? Everybody was crying about Kanye having to pay Kim $200,000 a month. Is it $200,000 a month he paid her?
Kim's a hoe. Yeah, I said it. That white bitch is a hoe. She damn near had a football player, a basketball player, a comedian, now a rapper. Now a rap artist. Like, what the? Like, really? And you're born into a rich family, and you need how much from Kanye? You're rich. Do you really need that money? But hey, it is what it is. He married a white woman. It is what it is. Thinking you getting any sympathy from me? Nope, you ain't.
Okay, well, he's a billionaire. He was, But she already got money. That's not the point. He needs to take care of his kids. It's not just her responsibility to take care of those kids. She didn't make it by herself. And that amount was set based on his income. If you're living in a beautiful home and driving around in luxury cars and wearing the best clothes and all that, okay, your child should have the same standard of living. What part of that don't these men understand? Why are you guys so hell bent on, excuse my French, on punishing the women? You want to punish the child too? No, that child should have the same standard of living that you have. That child should not be living below your standard. That child should have the same standard of living. And if that child is living below that, shame on you. Shame on you, and you're a deadbeat dad. Plain and simple. Child support is based on income. It is based on the man's income. Okay. Another thing I don't agree with is monitoring what the woman uses the child support for. I made this point, and let me tell you something. I've raised two on my own, and I know how much it costs to take care of kids. It is very expensive. That child support is literally a reimbursement. Unless the man is super rich, we're not talking about them right now. We're talking about the average, everyday man. Most men do not pay. It costs $250,000 to $300,000 to raise a child from birth to adulthood. Okay, it might be more than that. I highly doubt that a man is supposed to be split down the middle 50-50. I highly doubt that a man is contributing that much money to your average man is contributing that kind of money to his child's care. Most of the time, these men are not paying what really what they should be paying. It's based on, like I said earlier, it's based on a man's income. Okay, so if that man only makes, I don't know, $30,000 a year or $25,000 a year, okay, his child support is going to be based on, and then they got to take into account if this man has other children. Some of these black men got multiple children, so they gotta divvy it up between the mamas. Okay, and so that money is like a reimbursement. It's literally like a reimbursement because that mother is spending. We're not talking about neglectful mothers. We're talking about mothers that taking care of her business and doing everything she.
I do agree on that. I do agree that dudes having multiple kids by multiple baby mamas, that's not an excuse. I mean, you got to pull out what you got to pull out. You got to do what you got to do. It's your responsibility. If you're Shorty Doo-Wop, D-Lo, whatever his name is, may you rest in peace. If you're Sean Kemp, if you're ODB, and you just pumping women full of your semen and not taking care of your kids, that's crazy. I even heard ODB say one time that I have 13 kids and love 4 like you. I love ODB, man. He rest in power, but god dang, man. God dang. I mean, you just can't do that. This is real serious business, man. Taking care of one child, it's $300, not 400, $300 or $400 a month to take care of one child. For the whole year, I think it's more than $3,000. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in that category. Thank God.
Again, for her kids, that mother is putting a roof over that child's head, buying clothes. You got every time you turn around, you got to buy them because they grow so fast. Buying the child shoes, school costs, school related costs, transportation costs, utilities, food, medical expenses, outside of insurance, toys, activities. You got to factor all that in. It is very expensive taking care of these kids, and a lot of the mothers are 9 times out of 10 are paying more. It ain't 50-50. They're paying more. Mothers are paying more to take care of kids than what these men are dropping. In most cases.
How? Can anybody explain to me how that is? Or is that true? Is that true, or is that just a fallacy? I would like to know.
In most cases. So that money is like a reimbursement. It's like a reimbursement. If she take it and use it on, okay, she done already dropped, I don't know how much money for rent. She done already dropped, I don't know how much money for utilities. All that is factored in. All that goes towards the care of the child. Okay? All that goes towards the care of the child. All those factors have to be considered. And 9 times out of 10.
I'll say it before, and I'm not afraid to say it again. Let's face it, ladies, and I'm not speaking to everybody. Ladies, y'all ain't spending all that money on that child. You're not. You spending most of that money on hair care, your hair, your nails, your makeup. I can't let you get away with that. No. Not on the We-On-Loc show. I can't let you get away with that. Y'all spending too much money on hair. Nails alone is like what, $80, $80 to $100, and y'all wearing nails. Y'all wearing nails that come out to here like you like Freddy Krueger or some shit. Like, come on now. Come on, and then y'all. There's hair plate all around the world. There are hair and nail. You getting how much is hair? How much is hair? Like, really? Are we really gonna do that? Are you really spending money on that child? Come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. You're giving them some cheap ass clothes from Burlington Coat Factory. I mean, if that's what you can afford, that's what you can afford. But sometimes when you go to Burlington Coat Factory, they might have some. You might catch them on a good day, and they may have some fly stuff from time to time, right? They might have some fly stuff, but overall, you're taking them to Walmart, to get his clothes. Or like if you don't, and then what about the shoes? Now, I don't pay too much expensive for shoes and stuff like that. You get them shoes. You gotta get them some clean underwear, get some clean socks. Right? Are you actually giving him enough for him to sustain? Right? Or are you just thinking about yourself? You gotta be real here.
That man ain't paying 50-50. He's not paying 50-50, and your average everyday man is not paying 50-50. So, I mean, if that woman takes that money and go do something else with it, okay, what difference does it make? She's already paid she's paying most of her income, way more of her income for that child, and dropping way more money for that child than what that man is dropping. So, no, I don't think that should be, and there is a child support credit card because I had one. I used to have one. So I don't. What is that going to prove? You know, because in most cases the women are paying more money. They're putting more money into the child than what that man's doing. So I don't feel it. What difference does it make what she do to with the check? Now, if the child is being neglected, okay, that's a different situation. If the child is being neglected, if you do see that the child is not getting shoes, clothes, the child's not being fed properly. If you see that the mother is neglecting the child, okay, well, you need to first of all take steps to get custody of that child. If the mother's neglecting the child, then I can understand if she's neglecting the child. Then I can understand you saying, okay, what are you using my child support money for? That is understandable in a case like that. But if the child is being taken care of, she's providing a roof over that child's head, she's feeding that child, she's paying all these expenses that go into this child. In most cases, for women, it's more. Okay, it's more than what that little bitty child support check. What that man, your average. I'm talking about rich men right now. I'm talking about your average everyday man. 9 times out of 10, the mother is paying more. The mother is putting more into that child because she has custodial custody of that child. Okay, it should be 50-50 split down the middle, but it's not because the child support is based on the man's income. If the man only makes $30,000 a year, okay, the child support is going to be reflective of that. Plus, factor in if he has other children he's paying child support for.
Yeah, I get you. I got you. I just want. I don't like it per se, but I get you. I got it. Now let's see what other people got to say. And this is a little bit old. This is like 3 years old, but let's see what the peep says. Let me not play this bullshit. Hit the like button on the way in. Hit the like button on the way out. Support the channel by hitting your boy up on the Cash App. It'll be much obliged. Much obliged.
And then explain. All right. So
I respect it. I rock with it 100%.
thank you, Kay.
So
It's like this is some BS, man.
But I'm not even tripping because contract negotiations is coming up, and we don't. You know me. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go exhibit A, and percentages change, but so she can feel how she want to feel.
I do not like how you're trying to turn the lead attorney against me. Bullshit. I have clearly been respecting what he's saying, and I've actually learned something from him because he is an expert in the field.
Hey, JR, can you move switch K and Amir? I would like Amir to be vertically aligned with me.
Vertically.
Hey, Lee,
Yes,
do you
sir.
think there's any truth? So I know you had.
No, put Lauren back under me. I like that nose ring.
Oh, Lee, she-
Okay, I see how it is.
Hey, I like Kay. As a matter of fact, I kind of miss old girl.
Oh, you know, okay.
no, the leadership have been a possible reason as to why they gave her that look as well. Because he talked about how the
Shouts out to the Chicago Rilla.
the court system received, percentage of that child support.
Yeah, it's going to vary state by state. It's not like in Georgia, judges get a cut of every child support order. Well, here's the thing. I don't want to get too deep into this because then we start getting into specifics. But there's a private side of child support and a public side. What's the private side? The private side of child support is the child support we normally think of. Back in the day, let's say I was married to Lauren and we had a couple of kids and she divorced me. Every 2 weeks I would go over there to pick up my kids and I would just, I would hand her a check, right? On the first, I would hand her a check, and on the 15th, I would hand her a check, or I would mail it in. Now, 10 years later, 20 years later, it's cash out, or it's sending it directly to the state or something like that. So it's between me and Lauren, and the state really doesn't know about it, especially if she doesn't have me on child support. I'm paying. She's fine with the number. I'm more or less fine with the number, and we're both cool. Now, there's a public side of child support as well. Let's say Lauren is doing bad and she applies for government aid, welfare, food stamps, stuff like that. They're going to go to her and they're going to say, hey, why are you applying for food stamps? You got these kids. Where's the father? And Lauren's like, oh, don't worry about him. And the state's going to say, no, we're not going to give you any food stamps until you tell us exactly where the lead attorney is. You need to tell us his address. You need to tell us his employer. You need to give us all the details. So your number, birthday. Now she needs these food stamps, so she's gonna dime me out. Now after she died,
I did not know that. I did not. Ooh. Ladies,
they give her the food stamps, but then they're gonna come after me. And let's say they order me to pay, $800 a month. Well, I'm gonna pay the state $800 a month, but they're not going to give that $800 to Lauren. Why? Because they're already giving her the food stamps. They are keeping my $800 to reimburse themselves with the food stamps that Lauren's getting. So now the state is actually benefiting from the fact that I have these children. And so in certain circumstances, the court system and the state absolutely have an incentive to put as many men in the child support industrial complex as possible. They absolutely have an incentive. That incentive isn't really there if it's just me and Lauren and I'm just showing up at her crib every 2 weeks to pay her the child support. If I have to pay my child support to the state of California, for example, she might only receive $50 out of my $600-700 check, and then they're just going to keep the rest and they'll go, well, she's on child support. Now Lauren's going to be pissed off because she's like, well, he's a deadbeat dad because I'm only giving 50%. Mm-hmm. She's going to get mad at me. She's going to be talking bad about me to my own kids, turn my kids against me. She's going to be giving me problems in terms of picking up my kids. So now whenever I go to pick up my kids, she got her face on, right? She got an attitude.
You ain't got to worry about that.
Right? Worry about that? All right. but then I have an attitude. So I have an attitude too, because I'm like, why are you getting crunk with me when the $800 is getting taken directly out of my check? Like, I'm paying. You need to be smiling. But no one is smiling except for the state of California and these judges. So Mr. Palmer is exactly right.
And this is the reason why I say it's best that you and whoever you're, sleeping around with, it's apropos for you to discuss and go ahead and write down, be your own court system, right? Because you don't want to go to actual court and you don't have to deal with those circumstances. That's way too expensive. That's way too expensive, especially when you a nigga working in McDonald's. If you a nigga working in McDonald's, that's your last resort. He's on his last. He hates society at this point. And you're asking him that little $800, $900 check, and he not only you get paid every other week. But let's just say, for example, you get paid like $900 a check, not even 1,000. You gotta work overtime, right? And then that $300 come out of your check plus taxes, and then you gotta pay. You gotta find out how to pay the rest because you got rent and everything, rent, utilities. Gotta pay car note. You gotta, whoo. Your last option is to strangle that woman. Well, you can't do that because you're gonna end up in prison, and then you're gonna end up paying more. And they gyp people in prison. You only get paid what, 35 cents an hour in prison when you start working. So yeah, they say it's cheaper to keep her. It is cheaper to keep her. Let's take it.
Right, shout out to Mr. Palmer. I mean, in a lot of cases, these judge now the lawyers really, we don't have a dog in the fight. I don't get paid more if you pay more or less child support. So it's not the lawyers. It could be the state's attorneys, the state, because if Lauren, I mean, this is how unjust the system is. Lauren doesn't even have to hire an attorney to get child support. She can just show up to the court and say, "Hey, I want my child support," and the state will assign her case to an attorney.
Mm.
So that's how that works.
But for the guys, it's not like that. We don't get a free attorney. Most time we just got to show up alone if we don't have a lot of money, or just try to hire an attorney ourselves. So the women are.
Well, why is it that? Out of curiosity, why is it that men don't get lawyers, but get attorneys, but women automatically get attorneys? That's the part that I don't get. And I don't want to hear women got this. This is the reason why I say women got the pot. No, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with this system. If I want child support, if I want to get away from my wife, if I want to divorce my wife, and if I want to get child support from my child, I want the child to live with me. I should be able to get that. I should be able to get that the freedom to get have them assign an attorney to me. I should have that liberty too, not just the women. Knock on wood.
So favored in this family court system. I can talk forever, guys. If you guys want to jump in,
we're not trying to stop you.
Yeah, we're not trying to stop you.
You know what I mean?
Well, wait a minute. I wanted to know. Wait. I wanted a definitive answer. So since we got the lead attorney's input, Kay, do you think the laws should be updated in family court?
I already addressed this. He mentioned that it wasn't necessarily the law, but it was more so the judges. But then he brought up a point about how he thinks it should be 50-50 to begin with versus default 50-50 versus everybody gets a chance type of thing, which is different, right? And I agreed with him about that. So if you were listening, you would have known that
I definitely was listening, and I asked you a flat out yes or no question.
Okay, but I
don't even know where all this testosterone and energy coming from. I really don't. I'm really bugging because the lead attorney. Wait. He literally gets on. He tells you out the first sentence out his mouth is Chicago really is actually right. But I believe you because you got expertise, not the guy that actually went through divorce and been married for 10 years and paying child support, not the guy that's in the system. I don't believe him because he can't cite me a law.
What did he say you were right about?
He said the laws that we have for family court were basically based on the premises of 1950 court law. That's what he said. It was in the 50s.
Here's your quiz.
No, okay. Don't dodge this.
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Okay.
Okay,
the question was yes or no. Do you believe family court laws should be updated? That's just a simple yes or no.
Chicago. I just said that according to what lead said
She's not gonna say yes or no.
Nah,
no,
she
I
not.
am. I am. I am.
You know what's so funny? She
Hey,
thinks
guys,
she's
do you know?
I am.
smart.
According to what
Listen,
Lou
listen,
said,
listen.
She
that
thinks she's so
anybody
witty.
could-
She
No.
thinks she's weaving and dodging through this whole thing, and it's just making her look like
don't let me
she's
talk
great.
for 5 seconds
Listen.
without cutting me off.
This is what attorneys do. This is how they handle it in court. You got two parts. The judges say, listen, first give your yes or no answer, and then you explain. Right? So first give the yes or no, and then explain.
I will do it.
All right, that makes it super clear.
See, y'all need to have him on often because I honestly like this. I respect it. I rock with it 100%.
Thank you, Kay.
So
look at Anton. Anton's like, this is some BS, man.
I'm not even tripping because contract negotiations is coming up, and we gonna. You know me. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go Exhibit A. And percentages change, so she can feel however she want to feel.
Anton,
with me.
I do not like how you're trying to turn the lead attorney against me. That's bullshit.
It is what it is. So now that I got the full perspective, and I know there's more to it than this. Typical. What up, Jay Legend? Typical female behavior. They always acting like that. Come on now. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I need to get with this. Like, so now that I got the full, you still haven't answered the question. Hey. Well, she kind of did answer it, but she straightened up when lead attorney said, "This is how it is," because he's an actual real attorney. But she ain't paying attention to Anton and them at that time. It is what it was. But like I said, let me. Okay, so at this point, now I know why men themselves have a problem with child support court. I literally know, but it's more into the surface than what I just witnessed, what I just listened to. So now the same thing that happens to men, does it happen to women too? Just for our part, does it normally happen to women too? Because if not, this is a serious problem that we have in America. This is a serious problem that we have in society, right? And the laws need to be changed. It's like I said, something needs to catapult that to where it's just equal. You F up, then I take you to court, which, like I said, nobody should be taken to court. But if you F up, then I should be taking you to child support court, and I should be getting all the accolades and stuff, right? If you mess up, then she gets to take you to child support. She gets all the accolades and blah, 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 blah. So James says no. So is this the reason why they say that the women have power in America due to the fact that they have support from the government and the state? I wish. Oh shit, Sheila, you want to come clear this up? Lisa, if you're still here, you want to come clear this up for your boy? No, women normally get custody and financial compensation. Jesus Christ. So they get alimony. So what's the alimony for? Well, if you're getting child support, what the hell is the alimony for? So you want him to pay $300 a month for this child, And what's the alimony for? For your own for your pleasure? It's a money racket. The only thing I see benefiting from all of this is the state. That's the only thing I see benefiting off of it. I might be wrong, but there's too many holes. There's too much going on. There's too much bullshit. And this is the reason. And yo, you really need to take in consideration, if y'all are about to get a divorce, you can say, you're not taking me to child support court. You and I are sitting in this table, right here in this table, and we gonna figure this shit out. I will give you $400 a month. All right. Whatever you need, whatever it is that you need, I will give it to you if I have it. Now, brothers, y'all talk all this gang type shit. Y'all driving these expensive cars and stuff. Always want to drive them Tesla trucks. I think you need to leave the electric cars alone, and you need to get that Cadillac. Go back to the Cadillac gas truck, because some of y'all brothers are slipping. But I just want to know the society. This is some white supremacy shit to me. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. It's some white supremacy shit. It is. Ain't no way that a woman is supposed to have alimony and child support. What did Chris Rock say? She can have the alimony, but I want some pussy payments. What alimony? If you making 20 million and your wife 110, big deal, you ain't starving. But if you making 30,000 and your wife want 15, you might have to kill her. Alimony. What the fuck is going on? Yes, the injustice system over the years has systematically destroyed men, particularly black men, for decades. And so you let this go on for decades. Y'all men should have rallied up. Those who believe that this system is flawed, y'all should have rallied up and said, no, we're not going to stand for all of this. Everything is going to be equal under our law. And you can change laws. Why can't y'all get that through your heads? You can practically change laws. But some of y'all don't even want, some of you don't want to change laws. You don't want to practice law. You don't want to know the law. Y'all don't want to. And this is the reason why women get away with what they get away with. Technically, white women. White women started all this shit, and now look what happens. Black women want to get a piece of the pie. Has anyone seen what's that show? Black Ink. Has anyone seen Black Ink where I seen Black Ink for years and I forgot all the names. I've forgotten all the names. Black Ink. Black Ink crew. Led by Black Ink crew. Caesar. Now that the name just came up. Remember Caesar and his situation? Caesar, now that was a real situation. They bring their real lives in on camera, right? Most of them do. I love. Listen, C's is my guy. Puma, I love and respect. That is my guy, right? I love all of them, man. Even the goofy ones, I love them all because that show, I stopped watching it when C's got kicked off for fucking with a dog or some shit. That was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You don't kick C's off the show because of a dog, my nigga? Like, what? Dog cruelty. Suspend him, yes. But kick him off the show, kick him off of his show? That's crazy. But anyway, I'm off track. Sorry. I'm off track. I'm off set. Now I knew the men were gonna come out the woodwork. I knew the men, Mr. Malik. Angela, I don't know the name situation, had a class action lawsuit against child support crooks court, signed up ASAP. Is it that deep, fellas? Is it that motherfucking deep? Let me see if I can find something. It can't even be that deep. Once again, I am thankful. I am glad. I am thankful that literally is this. Oh, 1 second. 1 second. That's about the same. That's about the same. Here we go. Subscribe to the channel, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Act like I'm the courts and put in $1 for my coffee fund. Go ahead, support the channel, support the channel. $1 here, 50 cents there. There's my Cash App. Go ahead and donate. Now that, okay, one last time. Now that I have an understanding of what child support is about, how it's orchestrated, how everything is, my only rebuttal to this is it's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her. Hey, if you having problems with your lady, nigga, I suggest you call your homies up. Usually it won't come from me, and I don't advocate for it. But if you gonna cheat down, not up. If your lady is as good as your lady looks bad than the person that you're gonna cheat, at least cheat. I don't advocate for it, but I'm just saying. Just saying. That way, if she finds out, she gonna look at us like, you had the nerve to cheat me with this. Ugh. Come on and eat these French fries. But if you don't cheat with somebody who looks better than her, you know what? I'm bad. Sorry, ladies. I know Sheila, she's looking at me like, is this nigga crazy? Is he advocating for cheating? No, I'm not. No, but you gotta look at these laws. These laws are crazy. These down, you bitch. Anyway, now you can move. Sorry, the video was moving before I can do anything. But anyway, real quick. Yes, definitely hit that like, share, subscribe button. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet, become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. It is for $2.99. I might change it to $1.99 or something like that. Who knows? Maybe for the holidays is coming up. And if you have not done so, please register to vote. Vote for none of the above. Now, where was I? When because women opt out of women because more women opt out of relationships. Why do you think that is? Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send in the link for anybody who is tough enough to answer that or to give me a prognosis, a diagnosis, if you will, on why women opt out of relationships. Why do you think women opt out of relationships? Why do you think women are not submissive to men? Ooh, I can feel it. I can freaking feel it. I can freaking feel it. Now look, I'll have one rule. Be fair. Be fair, be respectful. That's all I ask. I mean, your opinion is your opinion is your opinion. If you think it's a fact, prove it to me. Right? I'm not advocating for nothing. I was just dubbed last week, by the way, by Miss Sheila, saying that I'm the gatekeeper or whatever to the sisterhood, which I'm not part of the sisterhood. I don't want no parts of the sisterhood. Is there really even a sisterhood? I mean, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. We whatever. But John Legend thinks that more women opt out of relationships. That might be an ongoing thing. That might be an ongoing thing for me. For me to pay attention to. Because me personally, I just think it's on both sides. Both sides F up a lot. Both sides, particularly starting with the women, they opt out of relationships, in my opinion, due to miscommunication, no communication, lack of intimacy, lack of this, or lack of that. It's a lot that goes into it. And then there's the abusive part, being verbally abusive, physically abusive, you know, him not fulfilling his part, she not fulfilling her. It goes into a lot of things. So y'all gonna have to be a little bit more specific when y'all say things like that. It's like I can't just take your word for it. You got to be you got to add some specifics into it. It's a lot of shit that goes on. And but do I look at this and do I register with this? Not really, because I don't think it's just women, all women, period, or not even the majority. I think it's the minority of women. I might be wrong. I might be wrong in it, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Let's talk.
So now she's 50 years old. She doesn't have any skills. She's got a 20-year gap in her resume.
Time right before that men would typically get in custody, and the laws changed where it started giving it to women.
Well, it's interesting because whenever the fathers would get this custody, the burden really would fall back on the mother anyway, because again, the fathers would be working, right? And a lot of times women did not have the ability to socially climb. And so even if the father would get the custody in the name, right, who has custody? Well, in the paperwork, it says the father, but who's really taking care of the children? It's the mother, right? And so we want to make we want to distinguish between, what's on paper and then what's happening in reality.
Digital agencies, listen up. Duda introduces the power of web.
But it wasn't like the fathers were, doing 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week. The mothers weren't working and the fathers had the kids. Usually the mothers would have the kids in reality. And so the laws kind of shifted to reflect that reality, right? Which didn't bother the fathers too much because, again, it was a different time and fathers were, a little bit more old school, a little bit more masculine. Felt like the kids were better with the mom, and the mothers would raise the kids. But now it's different. In 2021, fathers expect to be in their children's lives as much as the mothers. And so if you go into court, let's say you're married, Ken, I don't know if you're married or not, but if you get divorced, there's going to be a high chance if you have any kids.
Married to who?
There's going to be a high chance that just off the rip, just because what's between your legs, you are going to be favored in having custody of your kids. Now, how is that fair? Yeah. It's not fair at all.
It's not. To me, it's not. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. But I do have to say, this is my experience. Well, not my experience, my parents' experience. When I was a child, hey Ryder, how you? Ryder in the building. Ryder be doing some real good lives, yo. She check her out. Hey Ryder, put your thing in the chat there for people to come subscribe to you. Go subscribe to Writers for Life. She brings the pain, boy. She brings honesty. Let's just say that. She brings honesty and she brings truth. Right? And she learns from the best. We all can learn from each other. I have learned through my mentors throughout the years. One of them would be Zoe Williams. I also like to read certain books, like I need to finish up Men of the Millennials. I think it's Men of the Millennials. Let me see. I have it right here. Men of the Millennials. Oh, shoot. Yep. No, it's called Message for the Millennials. Message for the Millennials. And she said, only the host or mods can. Oh, I almost forgot. This is a little different. Shit. This is a little different. Let me see if I could. Add as mod. There you go, dear. Now you can add. This is a different. Let me see. Let me add in because I'm getting my if you can, like, I know that there was 12 of you mofos up in here, but if you can support the channel, I can get StreamYard back because StreamYard is definitely tripping right now. Monitor Booyakasha. And there you go, sis girl. Now, did I get whatchamacallit? Okay. Oh, no. I already did him. So, oh, wait. You should be set. You should be set. Now you can add in your channel, baby. You can go ahead and add in your channel. Where was I? Oh yeah. A long time ago when my parents were fighting each other and they couldn't get along or whatever. Both of my parents went to court, fought over me. My dad had custody of me, basically. My dad had custody of me. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know about this whole conspiracy thing about women just automatically getting custody of the child. There's this, and men got to go through loopholes. I don't know. I just thank God that I don't have to be in that number. I wouldn't want to. So yes, definitely go support. No, definitely go and support your girl. The link is in the chat, and do what it do. Definitely do what it do. Here we go.
To the men.
So can I ask a question?
Hold on. Can I ask a question first? I'm sorry.
You've reached your question limit for the night.
I've reached my quota. No question.
Well, I did see where the CDC a couple years ago said that Black men are the most prevalent in their child's lives than any other race here in the state. So I did see that, which is promising because I am seeing fathers more in their child's life. So I think that's great. But my question is, I wanted your opinion on child support and alimony, because that was something that we were discussing earlier as well too. So do you think it's a need for it, or it should be eradicated as far as alimony, especially for women that are divorcing or husbands divorcing their wives that were stay at home? And do you think child support should be eradicated?
Yeah, I don't believe in child support at all in a normal case. Here's what I think should happen. And again, if you guys don't know me, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm a 20-year divorce attorney here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I've been doing this a long time. And what I have seen over the years is the injustice. There are multiple injustices in the child support system and in the alimony system. But it really stems from the fact that custody is not fair, right? So what I would say in a normal case, instead of, if Kay gets divorced and, she's the mom, so she's going to get primary custody of the kids, I would change it. And I would say that there should be a default perspective that it's going to be 50-50. It's going to be 50-50 as the default. Now, is that going to work out in every case? No. There are going to be mothers who don't want their kids, so the fathers are going to have to step up. There are going to be fathers who don't want primary custody or to spend so much time with their kids, so the mother's going to have to step up. There are going to be fathers who are in the military and they're in Iraq, and so they can't spend 50% of the time with the kids. There are going to be pilots that don't want to leave their 20-year career at Delta. So,
and I say that the majority of the fathers would not be able to take care of their kids by themselves. Here's why. You have a millennia, a plethora of men who work night and day, fingers to the bone, have to get up and don't give me that I'm a man and I can take care of mine and I'm man. I don't want to hear that bullshit, because number one, you have your health. In most cases, a lot of men, we don't like to check ourselves in to the doctors to get checked out, because we're so afraid of the results. So don't give me that shit. For second most, you're working night and day. You might get away with it for a long stretch, a period of time. You might get away with it with this. You might get away with that. But overall, your health is going to deteriorate. Your health is going to deteriorate because number one, you're not getting enough sleep. All right, you're not getting enough sleep. You're not, you're stressing out. You're stressing out on the job. You're stressing out here. You're stressing out there. And then, of course, you have to listen to your baby mama. I mean, don't give me that. Don't give me. I'm a man. I take care of mine, nigga. Please. Trust me, I wouldn't want to be out there alone by myself. But if I had to, I have no other choice. I literally would have no other choice, right? I mean, so it is what it is. And like, and most women don't want to do that either. But they have no other choice, right? So they got to do what they got to do. And they're more multitask than us. I mean, they do hair, cook food, la la la. You don't, nigga. It's better to become one than become none. I'm just gonna say that flat out right. And if you have to, if let's say y'all don't work out, right? Don't stray away too far away from your child. This is woo. I didn't know that this could magnify as big as it is. I didn't know that child support. Wait, hold on. I almost forgot. Alimony. Why do you women need alimony? What is up with this alimony stuff? Listen, I'm paying you child support. Well, not me, but I'm paying you child support. That's $400 out of my check. Let me see if I get the math right. Let's just say I get paid $1,400. Possibly $600 comes out of my check. And now I got to have two jobs because now wait a minute. I almost forgot. Hold on. God damn it. Hold on. So you mean to tell me you collect out of this check? Do you collect if I get a second job? Do you collect out of the second job too? I need to know. And mind you, this is not for me. I'm just asking questions. I'm just wondering. Just as for all the men out there that bitch, moan, and complain that they're paying child support, and in the state of Texas, if the child turns 18, I'm paying back child support. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, whatever. It was like it's something that I've never heard before. But this is not for me. I'm just curious. Because I don't want to be in that number. Like, if I was with Ryder, I want to treat her right. Gotta treat the women right. Otherwise, they going straight to child support court. It's like, fuck you, nigga. I'm tired of you. I'm going away. But men need to pay attention. Men need to do their best. Men need to do their best to become dads, good husbands, good boyfriends, but more importantly, become good fathers. Just because she's taking you to child support court does not mean you have to stray away from fatherhood. That's inexcusable. That whole shit is inexcusable. Just because money is being taken out of your check doesn't exclude you from your child. No. If you want permission to see, you shouldn't have to have permission to see your child that you put on this earth. You helped put on this earth. You shouldn't have to have permission to do that. You shouldn't have to. That's why I said don't even go to court. Stay right there in the privacy of your own home, and you work it out between you two. This shit is expensive. I mean, just imagine right now, inflation. A lot of things are expensive now as ever been before, and you're talking, and now you're going to in child support court. That's enough to make a man go crazy. But I mean, it is what it is. Um, Looks like we got guests. This is We-On-Loc Nation. Who's there?
Blessings, blessings, blessings. Hey, what's up, We-On-Loc Nation? How you doing? It's my first time hitting your
Hey,
panel.
sweetheart, how you doing? What's going on?
What's up? Hey, chillin'. Decided to hop on this, John. You always blessing my panel with your presence and your great advice. So I just decided to
I
hop
try
on
what I
here
can.
because it's like, it was crazy. You right. You're making some great talking points on everything that you're saying. Crazy part about it is, unfortunately, out here, the females, whether we like it or not, and it's vice versa, yes. But right, the man is the one that always get charged with the child support. It's to the point where I even asked, I asked one day, should women get charged for falsely accusing a man for being their baby daddy in certain situations? They stuck paying child support. In the end, they find out that's not their baby dad. I mean, that's not their baby. Wifey cheated on them. I mean, in so many circumstances, they don't get repaid for that. They go to jail if they don't pay that child support. I know a few men out here in the hood that had their kids while their baby mamas was out there doing Lord knows what, and they were paying their baby mama's child support. And if they didn't pay that child support, they would go to jail. The one time they missed paying child support for a couple of months, right? They ended up in jail trying to prove their innocence. Like, yo, I've been had custody of my baby. Boom, 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 boom. Or some of them don't want their wife, their ex, my bad, not wives, their exes to go to jail and experience, the shit they have. Oh, my ex is not built for this shit. Da-da-da-da-da. That's the problem. Now you're feeling bad. She isn't going to feel bad. Flip the scripts. I'm not trying to be, Eve or nothing like that, but it's like it's crazy. It's just some females need a taste of their own medicine. Some, not all.
So what you're telling me, this is a horizontal issue.
It's crazy, yes.
Where oh God. Okay, so
It's everywhere.
So you mean to tell me, like, because like I said,
I'm a woman
never
saying
been in
this
this.
shit. Neither have I. But I've seen it. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. I've seen it out here. It happens a lot.
I understand it now that I've heard it, and I've heard it from other brothers. I've heard so many complaints from the brothers. It's like literally, they're literally up to here with women just opting out of relationships for whatever reason it is. And I mean, on my side, well, I don't want to be just an advocate for women. I'm an advocate for anybody with injustice.
Facts.
Because justice needs to be served. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. And it's not on man's side, it's on God's side.
Facts.
Literally, God looks at everything that what we do. And if you're the type of person that just opts out of a relationship because you need the money and you feel that your nigga ain't doing nothing for you, let me not say that word, that your man ain't doing nothing for you, and you just taking them to child support court just because. Now, I've seen plenty of shows, right, where women have actually done men wrong in that department, but it's always backfiring on them. And then they find themselves paying child support. Which, I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny because I believe personally, me, that both sets of parents need to be in home with their children because of all the shit that goes on in society today. But if you have to leave for whatever reason, abuse, whatever, that person needs to be replaced with somebody who can care for the child, because the child does not need to be fatherless.
That's a fact.
In my opinion. In my opinion,
So
he doesn't need to be fatherless.
So wouldn't that be, with that being said, shouldn't we, how can I say, whether we male or female, right? Shouldn't we take the time
Mm-hmm.
before we hop into them sheets with whoever we gonna be with? Take the time before,
Mm.
as a male, is this the person that I want to, have as a baby mom? As a woman, is this who I want to be my baby daddy? And so I feel as though some people rush into that. I don't know if you get me. And they admit to it though. That's the crazy part. So
Sex
it's kind
is
of
sex.
like
Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Sex is always something.
mm-hmm.
I mean, we all love sex, right? Hormones get, when we meet each other at a club or somewhere, and y'all wear some provocative stuff, some sexy type of stuff. Not like sexy red type stuff. I hate that woman. But like
pay for this shit, but I get his
Cardi
point.
B, Megan Thee Stallion type
No,
shit.
I get your point. I get your
I
point.
don't know.
You know what's
I don't know,
crazy,
but
right? Because
and then we
what
come
you're
out and we dress in our shit, right? And they see a woman and they go like, damn, da 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 da, whoopie whoopie woo. Let me slide by and then let me get into them draws. That's not me. I listen. When I grew up, I was looking for love in all the wrong places. All the wrong places. But I finally found my love. And I cherished her I showered her with gifts and stuff and constantly doing that. But I would not to think to meet someone like that in the club. To me, that's rare. To meet somebody that you love and respect and you cherish and you've been married to this individual for so many years, that's rare. Can you say in today's time, right now, in 2024, that you can find somebody suitable, you can be friends, be cordial with, lay down with, marry, have kids with, in a club in this day's time?
nah. Nope.
You can't get a relationship, period. Hardly ever in this day's time.
It's rare to find the right one in this era. And you know what's crazy? When I was growing up, a lot of my elders, a lot of my old heads used to say, you ain't supposed to look for love. Love is going to find you. And I feel as though that's also another thing that we need to learn. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I keep telling people I was really raised by them elders, like people that was really old fashioned. Like it's crazy, but yeah, that's how I was brought up. So them old phrases, even though when I was young I didn't understand, I got the message. Now I do. Shit.
Look at some of the clip here. I told you she's cooking.
So they can't get custody. They can't the shared 50-50 custody. When a mother or a father elects not to be in their children's life for 50% of the time, that's where child support should come in. Exactly. But this whole thing of automatic child support, because we don't have an automatic or a default 50-50 custody arrangement, to me is atrocious. Is actually enraging to think that a father, if you have a child, 50% of this child's chromosomes, 50% of this child's DNA, 50% of the child is the father. But then when it comes to custody, now he gets visitation with his own children. Right? And then from that visitation comes child support. Now, there are a lot of problems with the child support. There's also problems with alimony as well. Now, we can talk about
that's a shame. I would really, really want for the both of us to sit down and have an arrangement because it works in both favors. You don't know if I go in, if we go into court, one of us is going to win, one of us is going to lose. But guess who's more, who looks more defeated the most? Guess who suffers the most? The child. Am I right or am I wrong?
Facts.
At at this at this juncture, the children suffer more than anything. Wow. You have a life, you're an adult, and you're secretly dropping the kid off to go to the club and stuff, and he has to work, or vice versa. The child's at grandma, grandpa's, or aunts and uncles, and he or she is crying their eyes out, and the grandparents are wondering, why are you so sad? Mom and dad can't get along. Mom and dad are fighting all the time. Mom and dad don't love me anymore. Why do you say that? It just, they don't pay attention to me. You, you're a mother. You know the pain that your child goes through. You know the joy, right, that your child receives because you have what? A mother's intuition,
Facts.
correct? So, with that said, that intuition needs to be shared with the father. The father should know systematically in his head that what happens to us, the child is going to sense it, and the child is going to be heartbroken. And then the child grows up. The child already has it it's programmed in his mind to do the exact same thing to the woman. You hurt her and she hurt you. Now you have a license to hurt the woman, right? You have a license to hurt the woman because guess what? Mommy and daddy did it. So it's a perpetuating cycle, right or wrong.
That's some true. That's some real shit. It's vice versa too.
You got the floor.
I mean, shit, you was saying it perfectly. That John goes vice versa too, though. For real, for real. I mean, we can go about this in so many ways, but in reality, like if we can't be together, there should be a way to co-parent. Like your argument should be between y'all. I mean, there was a lot of families back then that was able to, how can I say, raise their kids, keep their arguments to themselves, and kids didn't even know that they argued. That's this era type thing now. I mean, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but this something new. I don't know where it got learned. That I keep asking it. At one point, I asked people, "Do y'all think that the behavior that some of us women, right? I'm not saying all women, that some women have, is it learned behavior, right, or is it something passed down through the genes?" Because as a woman, I'm curious, what makes some of us women be old fashioned, like our great grandmoms or grandmoms, right? I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. And what makes some of us women be like ratchet? Because, it was rare for me to see a ratchet grandmom. I'm sorry to say it. Growing up, I'm sorry, she got her headphones over there. She giggling at whatever she watching. But shit, we both on headphones over here. But I don't know if you understand me. It's like me watching the old heads grow up back then is completely different from me seeing these old heads now. It's like this, some of them somehow, I don't know. It's like, is it another being inside their bodies? Like, what changed? Because some of these old heads are still
talking about when it comes to the behavior.
The
You're talking about
behavior,
when it comes to
yeah.
behavior.
Like, where the leaders at? We don't see them no more. People say, "Oh, there's no more leaders. There's nothing to, there's nothing to follow." Oh, yes, there is. Look at what these kids are following. The adults. What y'all think that these kids are following? Themselves? Because they learning from somewhere. Where do y'all think they learning it from? Let's be real. Y'all saying there's no more followers? Yeah, the kids are following our footsteps. I mean, I don't know if
That's
you've
how
heard
most
people
of
say that a lot, but I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait, I'm lost. The same way I'm lost on what's wrong with these older people that are way older than me that are acting like our kids. So it's kind of like, if we don't get ourselves together, right, as adults, we should be able to co-parent, not act like little kids and argue all the time in front of these kids. Because you're right. That's what they're seeing. So they're going to mimic it. And when they get older, whether it's a little girl or it's a little boy, they're going to do the same thing in their relationship. One's going to mock the mother, one's going to mock the father. Whether we like it or not.
When you talk about leaders, the leader's you.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank
Leader
you.
is you. Yeah. Talking. Where's the leadership? The leader is what's staring right in front of you.
We're supposed to be
And
leaders.
in the opposite, is the person that you're with.
Mm-hmm.
You decide the fate of the next generation. You decide that. You decided that you want a generation full of doctors and lawyers and presidents, or you want a generation full of pookies and I don't even want to use that shit. If you want to use it, drug dealers and prostitutes and
A
whatever else,
generation of rugrats.
a generation of rugrat. You decide that.
That shit.
Okay. Can nobody decide that for you with yourself? Now, I take clear advice from my grandparents. When my grandparents were here, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, they've been married to each other for a total of 40, 45 years. And they literally would tell you, and it's like, yeah, there has to be some balance.
Bro, shit.
There has to be some balance. You automatically know. Like, this is just fundamental stuff. Fundamental stuff. If you know that it's a Sunday and it's a football game going on, you know not to mess with me. And especially Saturdays when Saturday college football in that season at that time, 4 3 maybe 4 hours depending upon overtime. Don't mess with me, right? But after that, all the time belongs to you, right? You may want to do something. You may want to do something. You might want to go out with the friends. Let's just let them go out. Nowadays, like, I don't want my woman to go out. I don't want my woman to go out. She might be looking at somebody else. I don't want. I thought we were already had a discussion about trust. So now you don't trust her to go out with her friends. Is that correct? Yeah, man. Just think, man. All them dudes out there gonna be looking at her and looking at her, be drooling at the mouth. Let them drool. If she's woman enough, she knows what kind of man she got on. If she don't, she wasn't the one in the first place. There are more people in the sea. There are more women in the sea than you think. If that right there can't say to that dude that is trying to holler, is like, nah, I'm just trying to chill with my girls and everything. But thank you for asking. Right? You have to have some type of breathing room. Now, when you get married, that's a whole different ball game. Married, we're going out. It's like, I'm going out. No, we're going out. Because we there's expectations there. And I'm not saying that, listen, at some point we get tired. At some point, we get tired of society. We just want to stay home. We just want to stay home. We have to be creative. He, for the most part, has to be creative because he's the one that picked you in the first place. She already knows in the back of her mind what she wants to do. But she wants to see if you have it as well. So he has to be more creative. Like, for example, take the kids to grandma's for 24 hours. Have them set up a picnic, something in the house, somewhere in the house, right? Eat, have him cook for you. Be creative, and you won't have to. And you won't have to go through all this. He's not good enough for me.
Can I
I'm
bust
not
your
good enough
bubble
for
real
her.
quick?
What?
Can I bust your bubble real quick?
This is a first. Go ahead.
There are men out here that do that and still get cheated on. There are men out here that do that and still get played.
Why is that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. As a woman that says I want this and you got everything that you ever want, why would you step out? You see my point? And I'm saying it because I've had a lot of, females that were friends stop talking to me because I've asked that question. Shorty, like, damn, this one was better than the last one. You've got everything. And then when I say, I was like, yo, you kind of still scoring, or I don't know what the issue is, or something in your head, because why cheat? Then you get mad when you get caught and he leaves you. Now he's this and he's. I was like, Shorty, you was wrong at the end of the day. Oh, fuck you. You taking his side. We women, we should be on our. I was like, wait, I'm on your side, but you wrong. Like, damn. So I've gotten cursed out for that.
I'm gonna take you back to reality.
All right, I'm listening.
If I do all this, right, and you're giving me the best loving that there is,
Mm-hmm.
ain't no need for cheating.
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't no need.
He was missing something, but he wasn't as perfect as she was painting it out to be if she cheated. That's my whole point.
Because I can go out, right, all by myself, right?
Yeah.
I can go I've gone to the strip clubs, right? I'll look around, chill for a few minutes. Most niggas will stay for hours. I only stay for 30 minutes.
He said I only stay for 30 minutes.
And then I'll leave. I would leave because I see it's like when I go to the mall, I go to the mall specifically to get what I need and get out. But it's waiting for me at the mall. So if I look at it, and of course people are gonna listen. And reality is this: you're always gonna get somebody that's walking past you that looks better than you. That's always gonna be the case. There's always gonna be the case that people look better than Beyonce. All right, I know people who look better than Beyonce, but Jay-Z is he supposed to step out in his marriage? No. Am I supposed to step on my? No. But when you see that woman, you're supposed to be thinking, as a man, let me go home because I have one of those at home.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go home. I got what I needed. Let me go home. A woman should have the ability to think the same thing, correct?
Facts.
So why is it, and I'm gonna bust your book.
Go ahead.
Why is it that all the time y'all go out and I have to see all this and I have to see all that?
Well, you can't say y'all because not all of us is like that. See, look, listen, a shorty don't hide it. Shit, I'm very conservative with myself. People are like, oh, I'm good. My body's for my nigga. I've always thought about it like that. People have asked me, your preference never changed? No, it hasn't. I've had the same mentality since I've started, thinking about dating or anything like that. So at the end of the day, like I tell people, I have a preference. I have a type. I know what I want in a man. Always did. I don't know if it's that my past set me down, what I went through and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I've always wanted a man that was respectful. Looking around the guys that were always around me, you see where I'm coming from? I wanted a man that was the type that always took me under their wings, that was respectful. They when they had their wives, they took them out. They opened that front door. They was polite. They was tough, protective when they needed to. So that was the type of man that I wanted in my life. People is like, how do you know that you really want that? Because that seeing the happiness in that person's face, as a younger woman, from the woman that I was looking up to, the man that she was with, he respected her in that way. And I'm like, damn, when I grow up, that's the type of man I want to marry. Yeah, it may seem like some fairy tale, some fairy tale type shit, but I wasn't out here looking for men. The two men that I ended up in a relationship with, so happened that, the first one, we kind of jumped into it. I was, a little rebellious when I was young. I wanted to leave home. He treated me very good. I was lucky because he could have been abusive. You see where I'm coming from? But he wasn't. And then the second person that he's my fiance, the father of my daughter. I've only been in 2 relationships. I can count the men that I've been with, firsthand. That's it. It don't go over. People is like, that's bullshit. It's not bullshit. It's just that at the end of the day, that's not what I'm out here looking for. That's not what I want. I like to be at home. I like to chill, and then on top of it, I don't like being around a lot of people. You see where I'm coming from? I like to be at peace. For real, for real. So I'm good with watching movies all day.
I know what you mean. I definitely.
So it's like I know what I want. I want somebody that is kind of like me on some real shit, and that's what I found. It so happened that both my men,
Me and you definitely have something in common. Because I like mostly like to be by myself.
and y'all are rare. Y'all are real rare, and you don't understand.
Rare.
So it's kind of like I'm not like there's a few of us girls that are like that in a group that grew up together, but the majority of us that was in the group, right? I'm not including me, but I'm in that group. But what I'm saying, the other half of the girls, right, were a little faster than us. We're already, from men. Like you would say, they changed more of men than they changed underwears. Let's put it like that. So a little more experienced than me. So it's kind of like, yeah, I be telling people I'm wifey material. I didn't know it back then when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I say it. I'm wifey material. I wish I would have known that back then, and I wouldn't have gotten into arguments with people, and I would have understood why men got mad when I curved them and shit like that. Oh, you a bitch, you a dyke, you this. I'm like, damn, from saying I don't want to be with you. I used to be like, what? My baby pops taught me how to ignore that. I used to curse them the fuck out when I was young. Like, really? All I did was curve you. You're not my type. You're not. I don't. You don't draw my attention.
So you were considered tomboy-ish.
I've always been tomboyish. I cover my whole body up. I used to play sports a lot, so, but I only wore dresses when I needed to. So I was comfortable playing outside. Like I didn't see the need to show my body off like that. I don't know. I was always like that. People think it's weird, but I don't. I think it's normal.
No, no. This is the reason why I wish I was born in the '60s because they were tomboys in the '60s. It's like we don't bother with it.
Since that's like tomboy girl, we dress, but at the end of the day, I'm still a female. Everything I do is female-ish. I don't act like a boy. You see where I'm coming from? That's a big difference. So it's like
tomboys are the ones that get picked. They get picked on the worst. You do know that, right?
I never got picked on.
Well, mate, you're not from where I'm from.
Oh, is that for real?
You're not from where I'm from.
Nah, I'm from Philly, so it's a little different over here.
Okay, a ballpark.
A lot of people still don't even know what the definition of a tomboy is.
Population.
In Philly, they think that tomboys are dykes. I'm like, yo, you don't know what a tomboy is, right? A tomboy is a female that dresses boyish. In reality, that's all it is. I be telling them, like, y'all gotta do y'all research. There's a big difference between a tomboyish and a dyke. So it's kind of like I wish people get it right. I'm like, some dykes have been called tomboys and they get offended. I'll be like, oh shit. I've never called them that. But I've seen the arguments in these streets, and I'll be like, yo, my face be the same way as yours. Like, the fuck did I just see? What did I just hear? Like, damn. It should be crazy out here in these streets, yo.
I know, I know dykes that get picked out by men, and
Mm-hmm.
very rarely do they get picked and they get married. Something they change the life of the. It's all who you can. It's all who, if you have confidence within that person,
It's like I tell
can you
people.
get.
It's like I tell people, I'm a woman, man. I just dress comfortable. I dress beautiful when my man is going to take me out on a date or something like that. Other than that, I'm at home. What the heck I'm going to get my good clothes dirty for all the time? And then half the time I'm playing with my kids. Like I tell people, man, I'm conservative.
See, this is why these dudes out here they tickle me with all this feminine. She don't dress or act feminine. She just acts masculine. We don't want a masculine. She weighs up 250 pounds. She needs to get back in the gym. Meanwhile, that woman gets picked. That woman gets wedded, and you're looking stupid. Very, very stupid. Let's get to the clip real quick.
The problems with
This
child support, we could talk about the alimony. A lot of times, alimony really is, or child support turns into alimony.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you had Holly Berry, and she has been fighting for 7 years to get her child support reduced. She finally got it reduced. I think they had one kid, a daughter, and she was paying $18,000 a month.
Right.
Now, we all know for a 7-year-old or a 12-year-old who doesn't have any special needs, a child does not need $18,000 every single month. What was that? That was really alimony. You know, maybe 2,000 of that was child support, maybe 3,000, but it was really it was child support, but it was really alimony. It was alimony in the disguise of child support.
Mm-hmm.
Should there be alimony? Sometimes, you know, if you have a woman who, and let's say you have a woman who's been married for 20 years, and the husband is kind of old schooled and said, you're not going to work and you're going to take care of the 4 kids. And then, so there's nothing in the woman's name, and she's been out of the workforce for 20 years. Mm-hmm. And the husband decides, I'm just giving you the typical, the prototypical case. The husband decides to upgrade her, right? It happens. Right. So now she's 50 years old. She doesn't have any skills. She's got a 20-year gap in her resume, and her, you know, she doesn't know how to use an iPhone. Let's say she's really old school. She's 55. She's gonna need some help, and she's gonna need some help for a long time. But that's typically not what you're seeing these days, where the woman hasn't been in the workforce for 20 years. I mean, what you're really seeing is, you know, you got a married couple, they got a couple kids, they both work, and, you know, they're both rocking and rolling. So then where is this need for alimony, especially if you consider how much generally people are making? I mean, what are people making in this society? 40,000, 50,000, 45,000 a year? Like,
I can get her a sign-up bonus. I see the gas station right up.
You funny, Anton. You real funny. So now that I understand it, now that I've heard practically everything, it is, like I said, it is safe to say that it is cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper. Much, much cheaper. And
you know what's crazy, right?
You know what's
We-On-Loc Nation. When I wasn't able to, when I found out that I wasn't able to go back to work, right? Back in, I think it was, let me see, it was like 3 months after I had the accident. November, December. It was towards February, right? Because they said I had the 5 herniated discs, because I had to be very careful. So I'm sitting here, I was like, you know, what's crazy? I was about to get depressed and everything. I started getting to YouTube, TikTok real heavy, like just watching videos and stuff like that. Cause I'm like, I don't know what the heck to do with myself, because I'm used to working. Even if I stop working for a couple of weeks, I'll go right back to work. I was a health aide. And, you know, you got paid good, especially here in Philly. So it was like, damn, I ain't know what to do. My baby pops, you know what? Fuck it. Don't give up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to help you get a job from the house, whether it's answering phones and stuff like that. For right now, stay on the unemployment, right? I'm gonna help you out. He's like, even if get your machines back out, I'll get you more shirts, more hoodies, start selling some shirts. He's like, I don't want you to get down. And what's crazy is I feel as though that right there is what we need. And when we get with people that's going to pick us up, motivate us. It's not a 50-50 in a relationship. It's 100-100. We have to make sure that we're not just going to be with a man or a woman. We're going to have our best friend with us by our side. Like, it's crazy. I know you haven't heard that in a while, but that's how my old heads used to talk. I married my best friend. And I used to be confused, like, wait, you can't marry your best friend. That's your best friend. They're like, no, you're wrong. I know everything about them. No secrets, no nothing. I'm like, what? Now that I'm older and I'm in this relationship was different from the last. I'm not going to sit here and lie. With this one is more, we talk more. We don't hide nothing from each other. He knows my passwords. I know his. We have joint bank accounts and everything. Like, that's the crazy part. You know what females say? Oh, wait, you got me fucked up. I ain't, man, my nigga is not having my password. My nigga not having my bank account. Fuck that. My money's my money, his money, my money. I was like, but why? Aren't y'all both making it together? Ain't y'all both in this
I don't
together?
mind. I don't mind my wife having my phone now.
He said now.
'Cause
But see, look,
yeah,
listen.
I learned my
My
lesson.
baby
I learned my
pops,
lesson.
my fiance was my best friend before we got together. And what's crazy is that neither one of us noticed that we was picking each other up, because while I was going through what I was going through with my baby pops, right? And we wasn't together. I had separated from him because of the stuff that we was going through and stuff like that. And I was trying to co-parent with him. But, a lot of people know my story. You don't really know it. He went into an addiction. It got a little difficult. So, when they get into the addiction, it's fuck everything else but that addiction at that moment. Um, so it was kind of like basically my kid's godfather was raising my boys, and he was the only male role model that he had there. Like, in the beginning, I didn't see him like that, but as time passed by, what's crazy is, hold on one second, I gotta take this call.
Good. The, now that I know, it's like, what are we willing to do for each other in order for us to avoid things like this? What are we willing to go? Are we willing to go further and beyond for each other? Starting with the men, because we are that men, right? What are we willing to do to go further and
My
beyond
bad.
regulation? I'm trying to figure out what can we do to go further and beyond as men, because everybody has that fear of cheating, that fear this, the fear that. You have defeated yourself before you even gotten started.
Facts.
You have just defeated yourself.
Before you hop in a
You had good.
before you hop in a relationship, you have to learn how to love yourself, respect yourself first. Because, like, once again, like my old heads used to say, how can you love somebody else if you don't love yourself enough? If you don't respect yourself enough? How can you give something to someone else if you haven't learned how to, how if you haven't learned it yet? How can you give it to somebody else? So you first have to
Hmm.
learn how to do it with yourself before you could do it with anybody else.
Yeah, well, you have to do. You have to be with you have to be with yourself and respect yourself to know that the world is your oyster, and what you do between eight ages of 18 and now. First of all, you have to further your education. Secondly, you have to find a suitable job. And with that education, depending upon, I tell everybody to get a trade, work on that trade, work on your independency, work to get that bread, stack it up to the ceiling if you have to. Get you a job, get you a car, get you an apartment, establish something for yourself. And then when you're ready to hopefully share with somebody who has the exact same mindset as she's independent, and when you're independent, and when both of you come together and get married and have kids, that child doesn't have to worry about much. And when one of you are down, one of you is going to have to hold each other down. And she don't have to do much because guess what? She has money saved up. He has money saved up. That's how it should be.
Facts. That means you answered that question I asked you earlier. That mean that sometimes before we hop into it, when shouldn't we have to take the time to actually like do our research, who we jumping into bed with before we have kids, plan things out. And some people fail to do that nowadays. Nowadays, my bad.
Yeah, it's just young kids nowadays. Back in the 80s where I was born. We had decent, suitable people. It wasn't just all about just it wasn't all just about sex or just about it was about looks. But come on. You can meet the most prettiest woman in the world, and you take them shoes off, and it's hammer time. I don't give a fuck what it is. But you meet the ugliest nigga that all of us you trying to meet the pretty boy, but the pretty boy ends up getting a woman pregnant and getting you pregnant, and all of a sudden that ugly nigga looking good as hell.
One for titties. You know what's crazy though? What to me is like, if you go by looks, right? What's crazy should be crazy. To me, like I say, beauty's on the inside, whether it's male or female. Females want to go by look. You're gonna be you're gonna be disappointed every time. You just can't go by what's on the outside all the time, by the way they dress, by how they look, how much money they carry. Like that shit is gonna disappoint you every time. Every time.
You talking to the choir.
Yo.
You were literally talking to the choir. You need to deal with that. I used to deal with that all the time.
You know how many shoulders? How many heads I had to sit here and that leaned on my fucking shoulder, and I'm saying here like, yo, man, you just gotta make better options. That's why I don't just sit here and just, oh my god, because he's packing or he's sexy or he's this. You just hop right onto the first boat that comes and picks you up. Like, nah, man, that's how you fall off. Like shit, they just threw you off the little thing. What is it? The plank? Aye, sailor, for real.
You got to play the field.
Mm-hmm.
You got to play the field and ask questions.
You can't. They don't answer.
See, now we're looking. When we look, here's the dangers of that. We just like you said, we just hop on the first ship that sails, right? But you wonder why dudes always say, you need to stop making bad choices in men. How do we know? Or how do I know as a man that I've made a bad choice in picking a woman? How do I be? I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have one of those what you call them things when you shake them.
Them little 8 balls.
And the eight ball and the balls. Thing come up. The magic ball. I don't know what the thing was. I don't get one of those I don't go to Chinese food places and like.
He said, "I ain't predicting."
Okay, yeah, I don't pick. I don't know I don't know what the future holds. So you just gotta be careful. Well, guess what? You just gotta be silent because you just talking. Shit just come flying out your mouth for no freaking reason. I just don't understand you.
But
I guess you're one of those ones that are lonely all the time, and bitching and moaning all the time, and you don't get no woman. You don't get enough woman. You can't get a woman to understand you. I guess that's the reason why we let women speak because when we're dating, right? Is it about if I pick you, right? Am I serving you or am I serving myself? Am I is this date all about you or is this date all about me? Do you want to sit there for a whole hour and listen to me jabber about myself?
Should be about both.
Or do I want to listen to you and your experience? I want to ask you questions about you. This is your time because I picked you.
Mm-hmm. You should get to know each other at that moment. Facts.
What did I was the reason why I say this, right? I was on a podcast 2 days ago. And this brother, bless his heart, he's married. But he had the nerve to say, yo, you pick a woman, right? And she's supposed to be on your time. You set the date for where you want to go, meaning him. You want to go. And if she ain't on your program, then you need to pick. I could just pick somebody else. You gonna be one lonely Negro.
Oh shit. Yeah.
You are literally gonna be one lonely Negro out there. Nobody wants to be on my program.
People shut up.
What? Oh, did she pick you? No, but you picked her. Yes. Then why didn't you ask her where she wanted to go? Because man, I just want to talk and I just want to spill my shit. This is all about the man. This ain't about her. This is about me. I don't know where you came from. I don't know what area I don't know what rock you crawled out of. I don't know what your area code is, sir. But where I came from, the woman was first. The woman was always first. Now, she does have to respect you, yes. She does have to overall respect you. And if she can't respect you for who you are, then hit the curb, right? But overall, when you picked her, you wanted to have a good time with her. Why don't you set her up? Set her up where she wants to go. She wants to go to Cheddar's, let her go to Cheddar's. She wants to go to Scissors, she wants to go to Scissors. She wants to go to Cheesecake Factory, let her go to Cheesecake Factory. If that's not good enough for her, then hey, it's all good. But this is about her because you are setting a particular standard for the young kids to respect women and not always treat them like lab rats all the time. Not always treat them like objects. You take a car, you test drive a car, right? And you want to put it back in the parking lot. No, you pick that car. That's yours. That's literally yours. But I'm yapping.
No, you're speaking some facts, but what you're saying, what's crazy is I could apply it to the woman. What he's saying can go vice versa. This is not for all women, so please, all some of you don't get in your feelings. It's some women. What he's saying is applying is vice versa. I couldn't have said it any better. Cause I fight for both. So at the end of the day, it's like you gotta cut this shit down the middle. Like this should be crazy.
You're fighting for both, but you're going to be spending a lot of time having to have explanation after explanation of why. And all the conversations that we have ever had in these spaces always comes back around to y'all. It always seems to come back around. It doesn't matter what category, it doesn't matter what subject it
is. To the women?
it always comes back to the
You want to
woman.
know why? Because a lot of women can't come together for some reason. I'm answering that one. That one is not something that I got to sit here and search around for. For some reason, a lot of women, it's like, you know how men argue and fight, and then they be like, all right, fuck it. There's no need to be around this motherfucker. We can't agree at all. So we agree to disagree to walk away. Right? Like, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Some women can't. Like, they hold these grudges. They'll just keep going at it. Some women can. Some women could sit here. They could talk it out without having arguments. All right, fuck it. This is where we went wrong. I don't like you, point blank at the end. However it ends up, some women can talk it out, but others can't. And like, we're divided. We're more divided than what the men are. A men would fight it out. Y'all would sit here, some of y'all, not all of y'all, some of y'all will sit here and fight y'all Johns out. If not, y'all will talk it out. Us women, it's weird. It's hard to even talk about it. Like,
What do you think in
because you know what's
your
crazy?
mind?
At one point, I used to think like a lot of these grown women, but I was young, and I sat here and I'm like, yo, why would I sit here and act like this towards every man, right? When at the end of the day, what the last man did to me, well, I haven't been done what a lot of these females have been done, so I can't, even female get ahead of me. You haven't been cheated? No. You see where I'm coming from? I can't sit here and say yes, I've been cheated on. I ain't catch my baby pops cheating on me. So why would I freaking lie just to make you happy? No, I haven't been cheated on. So I haven't felt no need to cheat on my baby pops. I haven't felt no need to do him dirty because I don't feel like he's doing me dirty. So at the end of the day, it's like when some women hear that, they get in their bag. They want you to be like them. I can't be like you. I'm not miserable. I'm happy with who I am with. So if you feel some type of way because this one, did that, take the time, heal yourself, figure out, the next one that walks into your life, observe him, get to know him. If he's not for you, yo, man, I'm not in this. Be real with the man. Don't play with his emotions. Don't do none of that shit. That's the problem that everybody has. And not just women, but men too. That's why I'm saying, I like, listen, man, I'm not part of no feminist group. I'm logical. I'm a free thinker. I'm not part of no cults. And that's the problem too, that a lot of these women are part of these little damn organizations, cults, groups, whatever y'all want to call them. Listen, I don't know what to call these things no more. Feminism acts, women against women. That's all that shit is creating. Women against women.
You're not part of that. That's
Like,
at
this should
least you're
be
not part of.
crazy. It'd be
At least you're
crazy.
not part of.
I mean, I think for
It.
myself, like when I speak on something, it's because, like, damn, I've seen this stuff and I wish it was different. And sometimes I wish I could understand why it's happening because it's like I'm a woman saying this. And I do wish that a lot of us women, a lot of us mothers, grandmothers, aunties could get together and put our differences to the side, at least for our kids.
Is that genderism or is that humanism you're speaking?
Wait. Okay, now break it to me like I'm in kindergarten because I'm a little lost on the
Okay,
question.
okay. You're talking about, well, it's women specifically. I'm talking as a woman and this and that because I'm not. We're trying to come together as women. No,
Mhm.
you're trying to come in together as human beings.
Mm.
Because you're literally trying to I understand you. I understand women. Women are different. Women are different night and day. You're different from this woman.
Yeah,
Different,
fact.
even though you have the same, even though you have the same body parts and
Real
whatever.
shit.
You might go to Popeyes. Well, this woman goes to churches. Y'all may think
Yeah, vex. We all
y'all
got
think
different preferences. Yeah, different ways of
just
thinking.
like me and my brother. Me and my brother. I'm for Michigan. He's for Michigan State. We hate each other on that day.
Hey,
I mean, we literally talk shit to each other that
oh, what's
day.
that?
And whoever wins, we get to talk shit more. Hopefully it's Michigan this year. But the point is, at the end of the day, we still fam. We are still family at the end of the day. But hey, I hate him for that moment. We don't think the same. We don't act the same. But we're human. and we turn that shit on. It's just like these dudes, they're always predicated to the men. And if you've heard of Angry Man before, if you've heard of him, he always, always are going to acquiesce to the men for obvious reasons. Me, I'm not going to do that. I advocate for everybody to get right, for everybody to do great. But I hear mostly men complain about women. I have came out with a series. Negroes do not deserve black women, period, for a reason.
Oh shit.
And for the obvious reason, you don't know how to treat. You don't know how to treat black women, period. No matter if they're like blue, black, blue, purple, the lightest of the light skin. Y'all don't know how to treat those women. No matter if they came from America or they came from Africa or anywhere else, you don't know how to treat those women. You don't. You just don't. Because you complain a lot.
This shit is
And
crazy.
you wonder why you got your passport and you're trying to go somewhere overseas and you're thinking you're going to get better when actual fact you get played. Oh, they see what you're about. They see what you're about. They may feed you. They may treat you a certain way after a while. After a while. After a while. Them pockets get a little lighter. And then afterwards you going on to a different spot and you're figuring out, oh damn, they cater to their own. This group caters to their own. These Africans over here cater to their own. These Arabs over here cater to their own. These Brazilians over here cater to their own. And the next thing you know, you stuck. So you end up coming back to the States. These passport bros, this whatever. Bottom line, look.
I ain't traveled ever, but what you're saying, I've heard a lot of people say. So I mean, listen, man, there's got to be some truth to that shit.
But why?
That's what I'm trying to
Out
figure
of
out.
all states, out of all the cities, there's not one that satisfies your need. Listen, if you like white women, fine. Just don't come to me with all that bullshit. You violating my nigga. Because I would never jump. Number one, I would never jump that fence. I would never jump that fence, and I would never disrespect you unless you disrespecting me.
Facts.
I'm gonna add that 3 strikes and you're out rule.
Yeah, life is like a
Like,
baseball game. 3
literally,
strikes, you're out. I be telling people
right.
that shit. They be like, "What? Life is like a baseball game." I treat life, I treat relationships, I treat family like that. You got 3 strikes, real shit. I'm like, I give you 3 opportunities. Fuck that. I'm like, I give myself 3 opportunities, and I'm out my own life. Shit.
Oh, okay. So you give it an opportunity, right?
It's 3 strikes,
Okay.
yeah, because in reality, it's 3
So let me
opportunities.
ask you a question.
He's laughing at that last thing I just said.
Let me ask you a question. Because I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this
Go
truthfully.
ahead.
I at 4, maybe 5 years ago, stepped outside my marriage,
Oh shit.
and I thought, kind of figured that, that my wife had crossed the threshold, and I really, I really, I really thought that I was like, yeah, I don't want to do it, but I'll have a conversation with her, and let's just say things didn't work out the way I hoped it would be, and I ended up crossing that threshold. And she wouldn't speak to me after a while. But then the pandemic happened. I got sick, and she helped nourish me back to health. And we had a long, healthy discussion. I went and saw counseling. Now, with that being said, Would you take someone back, a person who has actually cheated? Would you take the person down? Now, remember what you said. 3 strikes and you're out, right?
As boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm gonna be honest. No. My fiance, yes. I say yes. I accept him. You see, that's the person I want to build a life with. If he fucks up, this is the trial right here. You got 3 strikes, you're out. It shows me who what you are capable of doing when that ring is actually put in our, when we say the I do's. This right here is like our little trial. After, we get married, nothing should happen. I shouldn't have to say, 3 strikes or nothing. But at the end of the day, I can't predict the future. I don't know what happens. So will I, you know, he hasn't fucked up. So at the end of the day, will I give him, the 3 strikes while we're married? Yeah. He's been real faithful while we're together right now. That I know of. And I'm gonna keep saying that I know of because, phone don't show nothing else. Shit does get stored on the cloud, whether people like it or not. And I know my ways around my phones to get messages and shit like that. Everything
Wait. You said what gets stored in the cloud?
messages, pictures, everything gets stored up in your cloud. Nothing's ever really deleted from your phone. I hope y'all know that.
Even if you have an Android?
Even if you have an Android. Yep.
So I can go back and look at all this stuff?
Your text
How would I do
messages,
that?
everything. As long as you link everything on your phone to your app, like for example, you can save your contacts on your Google. You didn't know that? And when
Yeah.
yeah, everything's stored up there. Once it's on Google, it's in that cloud. And yes, there's ways of getting it back. Like for example, my son would sit here and find anything I wanted from my old phones. I'm like, how the heck did you do that? He's like, Mom, everything goes to the cloud. It's a phone. It's a smartphone at that. Don't listen, man. My son, he was autistic. He was into coding and all that stuff. He was into computers, building little, all he was into all that stuff. So it was kind of like when he did it the first time, I was shocked. I was like, damn, it's cool, but it scares me. I was like, that means that any hacker can get anything from you. It scares the shit out of me. I'm not going to sit here and lie. It scares me. So I'm like, yo, just be careful out there. Because if your girlfriend is the jealous type and she wanted to go out there and do one of them little spy things on your phone, you're screwed. Like, they got a spy store out in this John. I learn a lot of shit out here in these streets. I'm like, wait, you what?
And I find out that men get slick about it. It's like if you want to find it, that's on you.
My baby pop knows that
You
shit.
find
Yeah.
wherever you find
That's
it.
why I say, like, if he fucks up knowing how we are and we've talked about everything, he fucks up. He should know better. Like, you see where I'm coming from? And that's why I'm saying that that's missing in a lot of relationships. There's no more communications. There's no more people talking, getting to know each other. Like, you don't even know how this person is going to react 6 months from now. Being honest. First time I got with my baby pop, she's like, how long do you think it takes to get to know somebody? I was like, I don't really think you get to know somebody, but can you get to know somebody partially, halfway? Maybe within a couple years. Within a couple years, you should know somebody somewhat. Not all the way, but somewhat. You said no?
1 year.
You said within 1 year?
1 year.
I don't know. I give it time. I want to make sure you are who you say you are.
There's 24 hours in a day.
Yes.
Right. Most of the times we're at work, and if we're single, that's
why I get it all the time.
We go and go to bed, right? The next 2, maybe 3 hours, we're on the phone with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we have freedom, we have free time. That's 2 hours, 3 hours, possibly even that day we're spending time with you, right? 24 hours in the day. We've known pretty much a quarter of a half of what you're all about because you're doing the most talking as a woman. You're doing the most talking. And then sometimes you find out a little bit from us, but even though we don't tell you everything, right? you're gonna find out something sooner or later from mom, dad, sister, brother, somebody, right? And then he's gonna start spilling beans.
Real shit observation.
He's gonna start spilling the beans, and then you're gonna know. And then when you live with each other, that's the test. That's when the test comes in. When you live with each other, literally, you're going to find out about each other real quick. What you stand about him, what you can't stand about him, what he can't stand about you. It's like if you hate having the toilet seat up, he gonna find out that you gonna hate having the toilet seat up. Y'all gonna be arguing about that. You're gonna be arguing about how the kitchen ain't clean. You're gonna be arguing how the living room ain't clean. Whose job is it?
I'm lucky that I'm, engaged to my best friend and shit. Because before this, he was my roommate. That's why I'm laughing. I was like, damn, I know that people be looking at him like, yo, y'all do know I was his little black diary. They be like, what you mean by that? Yo, I used to be the one that used to have to pause. I'm like, yo, nigga, how you gonna get on a date right now when you got a date already set up for this hour? I like, bro, you just messed up. He's like, no, I didn't. I was like, yes, you did. An hour later, yo, man, let me tell you what just happened. I'm like, I told you. I wish you just listen sometimes. I'm a female. I'm like, you just fucked up.
Had that little had you all this you had moved everything in, and all of a sudden you find out he had a little black book full of numbers. It's like, what is this? And then he has his own personal stash. And then suddenly he sees you have a personal stash. And like, hold up, what's up with all this? So are you willing to concede that we have an issue and some of these things need to be just thrown away?
Shit, we need to learn how to work out our issues.
I mean, that's a start, is what I'm saying. It's a start. I mean, yeah, okay, I'll throw off. Don't worry, I ain't tripping off that. And then he stores something that is like, I can't get rid of this one. So he saves it in his personal folder. He saves the shit to his personal folder just in case you act up.
Yo, We-On-Loc Nation is funny, yo. I like watching him, yo.
He does. You do. People do. They save it in their personal folder and they shift it away somewhere where you can't find it. Because he doesn't want to be crazy and like asking him for his code and everything. You're gonna open up the laptop. You're gonna open up the phone, but you're just like, okay, I gotta use your phone just in case, or he might have two phones.
He making him out to be Kevin Gates now.
I'm just saying.
Yo, dead.
I am just saying.
I am so dead.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes that happens in certain relationships, but see, that's the thing when people don't have communication and there's no trust. And that's another thing that chill out. That's another thing that I feel as though that sometimes, that's also missing in a lot of relationship trust. Like, if you don't trust this person, you shouldn't even be here. Because, I mean, that goes hand in hand with so much. If you feel as though you cannot trust this person, you should not be in a relationship with this person. Because it just makes it worse. I've seen so many relationships fail because of that. Like, when I was younger, I used to be like, damn, man, I just wish the people would talk it out, work this out. And it's like, I keep telling people, I'm like, the stuff that I've seen growing up, the relationships, how they, people did things, made me see things like, yo, that's not what I want. That's not how I want to be. That's not how I want to feel. Because it's like, shit, you learn from people's mistakes. I mean, not everybody's like that, but some of us learn from people's mistakes. And that's how I
can you learn from people's mistakes, but can you recuperate from that? Have you learned the mistakes
I've learned from
and
my own
not to do
mistakes.
them?
So shit, I've also had my own mistakes I've learned from. We're not all the same. We don't all do the same shit. But I've learned like it's crazy.
I mean, we try what we can.
Huh?
We try what we can.
Exactly.
We're human beings after all.
Yeah, I mean, and what's crazy is if you really peep it, everybody has a behavior. Like you gotta really like observe certain people, like whether we like it or not, because of where they're from, where they've been brought up, the stuff they seeing. Some people just mimic and they can't get out of a habit. So, I mean, at one point, I was asked, "Do you believe in change? Do you believe that somebody is capable of changing? If they was bad at one point, do you believe that this person could be good again?" I'm like, wait, again? I'm like, do you mean good? It's like, well, when you're kids, right? Because we're not born evil. We're not born knowing how to cheat, lie, deceive, or none of that in reality. So I'm like, we're not talking spiritual. We're talking about in reality. You see where I'm coming from? So it's like, we're not born doing all that stuff. So at the end of the day, the stuff that we do is learned behavior. It's something that's been taught to us. A lot of us have had to re-educate ourselves as we got older. Like, oh wait, this is not right. Some of us got our questions answered at a young age and it helped us, you know, determine certain things. Some of us didn't get no questions answered and that's left us lingering in spaces like, oh, what am I supposed to do? How is this going to work? What's going to happen? And you was forced to learn.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, it's crazy. It also like, sometimes I just question like, is it, our environment or is it the families, the communities that we're a part of? Because every environment that we are in is not always the same. I don't know if I'm breaking that down a little bit, right? Because I can go to where you're at, and your environment could be different from my environment. And I'm not talking about the city. I could be talking about the area that you're in, your area alone. Like, I'm not trying. I'm not I don't know where you're at from, but I don't know if you understand me. Like, you could be surrounding yourself with people that are not toxic the same way that I do. I surround myself for people that are not toxic. So it's like I tell people like, if you're gonna hang with me, it's gonna be a little different from the people that you hang around.
Just making the
Yeah,
adjustment.
not every
That's all.
environment is not the same.
Nope, not at all.
Even
Over here is over here is peaceful. Over here is peaceful. The only people that are yelling are my neighbors, and I love it when my neighbors yell at each other.
he funny. I be watching the drama.
Because those same ones, I'll be me and my brother-in-law be barbecuing, and the next thing you know, the neighbors come by and they barbecue right alongside with them, and bring their people over, and the next thing you know, we eating, we eating right outside, and my neighbor, she can cook some Creole food, boy. She can cook that Creole food, and she has given me a big giant plate of food, and I've given it to my wife. So
He said I give it to my wife.
yeah,
I mean that's how
yeah,
scenarios, and I learned that because that's why I'm a little different because like I take my time to observe, and I'm always the quiet one. People are like y'all hear me talk a lot on social media. I'm on social media. But when I'm out
that's
here
social
and
media.
I'm around people, look who's around me in social media when I'm behind the screen. Nobody really. See where I'm coming from? So it's like when I'm out here, I'm cautious. I observe. I watch the people around me. I watch their behavior constantly. I've always been told, like, damn, why are you so quiet? Get out your. This is me. This is who I am. Like, I need to feel your vibe to know where you're coming from, how you are. And yes, you can feel people's vibes instantly. You can see how somebody is. If there's a mystery in somebody, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna fall back and watch you for a while. You're not gonna get a conversation out of me. So it's kind of like crazy. I talk a little.
Unless you meet that particular person that you're comfortable with, and you're gonna have hours upon hours of conversation with
Mhm.
that individual
It's
because
like it gets to a point where the ice gets broken, yeah. But I still have to watch, fall back, and observe.
you still have a wall. Other than that, I would call it ice. I would
You
call it
say a
like
wall?
like
Yeah,
yeah, a
I have my
wall.
shield up because you got to be cautious around here. You can't trust nobody around here, not in real life. That shit, you be snatched up, thrown in the river somewhere without knowing it, and you don't even have enemies. That's the crazy part. Like, damn, what happened? It's just people out here shout out and
Nah,
crazy.
I see.
No, listen, man.
You live. I understand.
Yo,
You live your life how you want to
yeah,
live
because
it. And again, it goes back to spirit. It goes back to energy.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like,
What you put out there is gonna come back to you.
mm-hmm.
And if you have that fear of someone snatching you up and stuff,
No, I don't have a fear. It's just that at the end of the day, you still gotta be cautious. 'Cause I'm not that person. That ain't gonna happen to me. I'm that person that you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You see where I'm coming from? And I don't exclude, me being from. But at the end of the day, it's like what I said. Listen, I've been out here chilling, and a shootout has happened. People's like, damn, man, Ray, be careful. I'm like, look, listen, I ain't worried when I walk around. I'm strapped. But even me being strapped, like I say, I'm licensed. I got all that. But you got to be like that out here. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even go to the corner store without somebody trying to rob somebody, without somebody trying to hurt somebody. So all these fiends, all these crackheads out here, that's that bad out here. That's how bad it is in the hood. You gotta be, if you're not strapped in, the crazy part about it is when you strapped up, you gotta be cautious because you don't want a cop thinking that you from the streets. You're trying to be malicious out here in the streets. And that's the problem with a lot of these young bulls out here in these streets. They out here showing their pistols, doing this, doing that. Like, that's where y'all going wrong. Y'all trying to show off. When you strapped up, it's not to show off. To be strapped up out here is for protection. You don't show that shit off. You don't let nobody know you got it.
man, the only person I have to worry about is this old homeless lady yelling, "Nigger, nigger, nigger." That's the only thing I have to
When
worry
I was
about.
young, I used to feel like that. But it's like everything has changed throughout time. Shit. If only, right? We could turn back the hands of time and take it back to when we was younger. But now
When
things have
we had our doors open,
changed.
wide open. Now we have to shut the motherfuckers with gates all around the bitches.
Yeah, shit has gotten real bad out here. Like I'm sitting here admitting that, John. I'm like, I'm in the hood. At one point, I thought I was good, but it's like you never know who the heck is gonna be crazy out here. Who's high off of what? Because people out here getting high off of crazy shit, doing dumb shit. Like you wouldn't even expect that you seen this person your whole life right here down the street, and out of nowhere, this person is in the store pointing a gun at somebody because they high off of some stuff. I'm sitting here like, yo, wow, I didn't even know you got high. What happened? Now I'm hearing all these stories. Like you would think.
There had no point of no return.
Shit is,
There had no
yeah.
there had no point of no return. I mean, they're pretty much damned from society. Some of them, and they got to do what they got to do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have to delete a person to, you know, rob a liquor store, then you don't need to be living in a society. You need to be locked up for real, for real.
Should be wild.
But it didn't need to happen to that dude. It didn't need to happen to that dog.
Exactly.
What's his name? Marcellus Williams. It didn't need to happen to that guy.
So what happened now?
I mean, he back in, I think it was '98, he was accused of killing some white lady,
Oh wow.
and the evidence proved that it was new evidence that proved that he was innocent, but the Supreme Court denied him not once but twice. So he ended up going to death row, making his last walk.
That is crazy. Shit is crazy.
It's sort of like it's sort of like C murder situation, but C murder is in jail for life. So
I know a little bit
because he allegedly killed a 16-year old black boy, allegedly. But you see the contradiction and the difference between the system that we live in versus, you know, black and white. A white person gets murdered, we get the electric chair. A black person gets murdered, we just get life in prison and a possibility of parole.
I'm starting to understand a lot of things now that I'm older. When I was young, like I tell people, I didn't experience the racism. So I don't know if it's that as kids we was protected in the community. But I gotta tell everybody, my community, a lot of us is biracial. Like a lot of us is mixed. I'm Taino. See, I represent my roots. You know, I'm a Taino. A lot of people know what that is. Like, you know, my ancestors were Arawak. I can't say the name right, but the language I'm supposed to be speaking is that. And what's crazy is I know my roots, how far they go. I know where I come from here, from the parts of Philadelphia, the same way that I know what parts of Ponce and Puerto Rico I come from. And that's the way I am, the way I am right now. And I tell people like, yo, the shit that I'm seeing now is crazy. And people don't even like, they say race, right? But at the end of the day, right, every culture has from the darkest to the lightest color, skin complexion, right?
Yep.
And what's crazy, in every city and state, there's race. And I know that there's a race war between, as people say, some whites. I'm not going to say all whites because I can't say here that we got whites that are with us, that are fighting for us. But it's like I know that exists. I know the war between the cops and our black men out here. I'm not asleep. I know a lot of stuff that's going on. But my thing is, right, with us knowing that all that is existing, right? Why are we fighting each other then? Why are we hating on each other? Why are we letting them divide us? Because then is it the system dividing us or us dividing us? I just question
This is
everything. I got a question for everything. Like, I don't know. I'm
this is
sorry. I'm sorry. I just started
this,
thinking like, wait, it's like I hear my old heads used to tell me, and I have it in the back of my head, there's a solution for everything. But it's like nowadays they make it to the point where we feel like there's not a solution to nothing, but in reality there is. What is the solution? Because all I'm
every problem has there's a solution.
mm-hmm,
For every problem, there is a solution.
facts.
For every, and it's both. It's both the system that white supremacy has put us under because of past tense from slavery to segregation on down, and we were being told a whole bunch of stories when we were growing up, a whole bunch of stories. Now there's just so much information out there. It's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and this and then and generation after generation, we're wondering what 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 was and what is and what's reality. And the reality is we don't own anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's reality. We don't own and control anything for various reasons. There was once upon a time where the richest man in the world, and it wasn't Bill Gates. It
Mm.
wasn't Bill Gates, and it damn sure wasn't Elon Musk. It was a man named Massa Musa, King Massa Musa, who was worth and still worth $64 trillion. Right? Gather up gold with like 10, 12 camels with bags full of gold. Was the richest man on earth. Right? We had that structure, but for some odd reason, you give how does Eddie Griffin put it? He said, "We had all the gold, all the land. Y'all had all the Bibles. Now we have all the Bibles. Y'all all the gold, all the diamonds on the land. Somebody got gamed." You gotta look at it, you gotta study. Sometimes you just gotta read and study certain history books. Not every book is the same. Not every not everything is
You
Googleable.
said
Everybody likes to
King
go to
Mansa
Google.
Musa,
King Massa Musa,
Massa,
yes.
or is it M A
Massa,
A
Massa.
MANSA?
Messa, and then Musa.
Okay, I got Mansa Musa. This one's the ninth.
That's a,
Okay, damn it.
is
Okay,
it
it's a
is it
lot of
a
them.
is it a black guy?
Damn, it's a lot
Is
of
it a
them.
black guy?
Damn, it's a lot of them, yo.
It's a lot of them.
King, the Musas, yeah. Hold on.
Massa Musa. Let me say.
Massa.
Mansa. Sorry. It's Mansa. Musa.
Okay.
Musa.
It is Mansa. All right.
Mm-hmm. King Massa Musa.
Yeah, I
Late
was on the right
13th,
one. He was.
late 13th, late 13th century. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I was on the right one. All right. Mining.
One of the richest men on earth.
Damn, he was. You ain't lying. It's my first time hearing about this. Oh, 400 billion USD. I'm gonna look him up in the history books. He's got to be on my history books. I got a whole bunch of them, Johns. I prefer to look at a hardback than look on Google.
I love it. I do the same thing. I do the same thing. Hey, Rachel, I got to get off the live. I got a phone call and I got to get some stuff done. But I am so glad to see that you came up here and chopped it up with your boy. When's the next time you go live?
I'm not going live until the weekend. Yeah,
Okay.
because the week, I got all the stuff to do, so I'm not really gonna be able to do that, John. But I'll be live this weekend, and I'm gonna be speaking on the current news. I mean, Diddy is trending now, so I'm gonna see how I go around the Diddy situation, which is kind of impossible.
Hey, he's gonna have a whole bunch of people. Even the chick from Denny Kane is ousting him out because he's allegedly doesn't pay his people money. Allegedly.
That's been said since I was little. So I don't know. I mean, it's so much to that. I'm not gonna speak on it until I see the trial myself.
You get all the.
Yep, I'm not gonna speak on it because, like I've said before, like I don't just speak on women's rights. I speak on men's rights too. And even though he's guilty for the Beaver situation and the Usher situation, I feel as though I don't think that's what he's going down for. I think he's going down for something different. And they're saying sex trafficking. And then they got Michael Jackson. They got Denzel. They got all these actors. So it's kind of like I don't know what to do, what to say. So I just need more info. In reality,
How did Michael Jackson get in the mix? He can't defend himself. He's dead.
they're saying that he's the reason he had parts on killing him, allegedly. Because let me say allegedly in here. That's why I say I want more info. That's why Candace Owens gave up on the story for a minute because she allegedly wanted to get more. I'm gonna say it like that, get more information. But she's been on point, on them stories, those stories. And it's crazy. A lot of people backed off real quick because they was like, "Damn, he has parts on that." I said the same thing. I was like, "Wait, what?" And when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, I'm backing off real quick because I don't want my channel striked." So until I get more info, I won't speak on it because it's deep. This is going deep. It's going to celebrities that you didn't even know that was in this John. So now they're saying that it wasn't just Justin Bieber or and Usher. They're adding Jaden Smith to the mix. So I was like, wait, he also touched Jaden Smith? I was like, wait, so why didn't Will Smith do nothing? That's what I'm saying. I didn't hear them speak. I didn't hear Usher speak yet. I haven't heard Bieber speak yet. I haven't heard Jaden Smith speak yet. So it's kind of like
you didn't hear the list of names that Diddy was.
The names are starting to pop off. Yeah, people are starting to pop off with names and stuff like that are allegedly in the list for the trial and shit like that. So it's kind of like that's why I was like, hold up, it's too much stuff coming out all at once. It's kind of like, and then to top it off, I don't want to be wrong because if I don't take my time with this and observe, my past will hit in, and I'm not trying to have my past take over. What I mean is, it could be a trigger sometimes because of all the sex trafficking and because I'm like, this shit is crazy. I've been wrong before, and I don't want to be the woman that sits here and says, well, this is like this and this is like that. No, I take my time. When I was younger, I used to say all men are like that. You see my point? Now it's like, no, not all men are like that. So hold on. Men have been in jail and they've been innocent. So it's kind of like, let me fall back on this case real quick, because
Get your ducks in a row.
exactly.
Get your ducks in a row.
There could be innocent people in here that, it could be a bigger setup than what we think. I'm not saying that he's innocent, because we know what he's guilty for. I mean, the shit's been talked about for years, but there's new stuff being said.
Like an asshole.
Yeah, there's new stuff that being said that it's like, I got to sit here and analyze. What if it was my son in his position? You see where I'm coming from? So it's kind of like, no, people fall back, because our past could be our destruction. And I'm talking about the ones that let our past take over and let it trigger. But yeah, I'm taking my time with the Diddy situation. So I'm trying to get all the current news, but it's like social media is only talking about damn Diddy, and it's hard to get the current news from your local city and stuff like that. I'm saying like this shit is bullshit. Sorry.
Well, I'm saying balance it out. I mean, if you're gonna talk, if people are gonna talk about Diddy, right? Even though that's a distraction to me,
I don't talk. You see,
because
everything.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying like people like to get the facts about Diddy, and meanwhile, while that's happening, a lot of stuff crosses people's heads and saying, "Well, look at what people are doing over here," and they just bought off. Eli Musk just bought off Minnesota or some shit. You just gotta look for that.
I've seen
Minnesota, just like when freaking Bill Gates took over 18% of the farms here in the United States. Why is a rich kid a computer dork geek wanting with farmland?
They've been doing that for a while. I think we spoke about this last year. He's been doing that for a while. There's a lot of stuff that has been planned, that has been talked about, and people haven't noticed it. So yeah, you is bringing up a good topic, yo. Like when,
just saying,
damn, like when I think it was last year, 2023 or 2022, when they was telling the farmers they have to kill their crops and get rid of all their crops. I forgot what it was for, but all the farmers had to do it. So yeah, you bringing up some good points.
There was the GMOs, the specific crops that once they're grown, they don't grow back. They're just dead. They just don't grow again. And then there's RMA. I'll let you figure that one out.
That's a fact. But right now I'm trying to save the stories up, because right now every video that's popping up, whether it's TikTok or here on YouTube, is about Diddy. I'm trying to get all the news for, I got a couple videos for the kids that have been getting arrested and teachers that have been getting arrested and stuff like that. So that's gonna be my next live and stuff like that. Diddy is gonna be mixed up in there because everybody's talking about the damn man. And it's crazy because it overtakes the current news. Even the news is talking about damn Diddy. Is my whole point. It's like, why aren't y'all covering up the stuff that's happening? Like, I've seen ABC in my hood a couple times dealing with the gun shootings and stuff like that. But even the Philly news is covering the Diddy situation. And I'm like, this shit is crazy. If it's not the Diddy situation, it's goddamn football. I'm sorry, I don't have nothing against sports, but that's all I'm seeing all over the news now. Diddy, sports, and a few current events. Like, what the hell? Diddy is like, just put the man in jail already and let's deal with our current situations, please.
Oh no, we don't want to put an innocent man until proven guilty.
Exactly.
In jail.
Shit. But yeah,
I'll be there though. I'll be there though.
I
would definitely be there.
I'm gonna see you in your next live though. Like, I be in the bushes sometimes. I share when I'm on the computer. Like, I tell people I can't share. I'm not good with my phone. I'm better on the computer.
No problem. No problem at all.
I always share as much as I can. So
I appreciate you.
Same here,
I
yo.
appreciate that.
Keep doing your thing, man. Don't stop. I'm glad I came across you, yo, because you gave me a different perspective on Umar, yo. And well, no, You gave me the same perspective I had, but people was coming at me because I wasn't coming at the man. So I'm glad I came across you. Like, cause it's
Well, any
you
questions?
talk about him in a
Any
different way.
questions you have for me about Umar, you can ask
Yo,
me.
yes,
Because
because I was confused about the man until you started breaking him down. I was like, damn, okay, I get it. Then my baby.
matter of fact, we can do a live on it if you want.
Yeah, I'm learning.
We
You
can do a live.
teaching. I'm learning. Like I be telling people, they're like, oh, he talk about Umar. Man, y'all better go sit down because I see it different now. Go sit down and watch his ass and listen to what he's saying. Don't hear him out. So keep doing your thing, yo, because I didn't know that it was like that until you broke it down. Because everybody else was talking mad crap about the man. They was really bashing.
And they still do.
Yeah, they are.
And they still do.
So shout out to you, man, and I appreciate you for bringing the awareness and the info you're bringing out because it's different from everybody else. So I appreciate that.
Not a problem.
So I'm gonna see you on your next live. I'm gonna hop down because I can talk my ass off on social media.
All right, take care, sis.
All
right. And that concludes another chapter of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Thank you for everybody for coming up